Okay.
Aaron?
Start streaming. Okay, here we are. Okay, we're live. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Christmas. We are live. Good evening, everybody. Ooh, we have a lot of people in the chat already. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas day.
Amazing.
How was your day, Oneida?
Good. I slept the whole day.
Hey, you know,
sleeping is the best therapy.
it is, and you needed it. You stay up entirely too late in every day of your life.
I do. I really, really do.
So tonight we are going to be discussing and telling you guys all about the case of Sandra Loepp. And she was a mother of 5 that was hit by a driver. It was a hit and run, and it's unsolved.
Terrible.
It remains unsolved today.
Terrible case. Just terrible.
It is. It's really sad.
Trying to find an image of her. I have them all here, but they're not. There it is. Okay. So here is where she was hit. Oh.
So this happened in December of 2012.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Oh, she's so pretty.
Very. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Patricia. Diane, Tanny, Pamela, Sydney, Anne Marie, Cookie.
Here she is. 37 years old she was, right? Here she is.
I believe she was 37, yeah.
Terrible.
So this happened in Washington Township, Michigan, and I actually have a podcast episode about this case, but I wanted to talk about it here too and get your guys' opinions and kind of just get it out there more because it is unsolved.
Okay.
Yeah, she was super pretty.
Yeah. So sad. It's so disturbing to think that this sort of shit happens and there's assholes out there that do this stuff. Well, mother of 5, nonetheless, right? Mother of 5?
Yep, she was married. It was her second marriage, and she had 2 stepchildren, 2 stepdaughters, and she had 2 sons from her previous, and then her and her current husband had one together, had a boy.
Ugh.
So altogether 5 children, yeah. So let me pull up my notes. So this happened on December 16th. I'm actually going to send you a link, Oni, to one of the news conferences so you can play that in just a minute.
Okay.
When we're ready.
All right.
But I want to send you the whole one, not just...
Oh, I need to pull up too so I can see chat. How is everybody? Did everybody have a fabulous Christmas day? Get all the presents that you wanted and some great Yuletide, gets your tummies full at Christmas dinner. I have to tell you, mine was a little sentimental. I fell asleep crying this morning watching Sister Act. I don't sound so melancholy or bluesy, but it's my second Christmas without my grandma, and that was one of her favorite movies, and when she and I always watched it together. And so at the end, and they say, I will follow him wherever he may go. They start singing. I'm all, Aaron like wrapped his arm around me. I was literally blubbering like a fool. I was like, oh, my grandma. Oh, like, I don't know. I just had that awful.
Well, I'm awake now. How about y'all?
Why, what happened?
You're singing.
Oh, you bitch. Well, I don't sound like
Still recovering from that.
You cunt.
You love me.
I love you. All right, let's see. Yeah, no, it was just very emotional. Like I even like did the ugly face cry where I was like, devastated by it.
I've never even watched that movie, so I can't help you there.
Oh, it's really good. It's Whoopi. I even like did the ugly face cry where I was like, Whoopi Goldberg's in it. She goes to that nunnery thing, and then she's like, I know.
Yeah, I know, and I can't stand Whoopi Goldberg. She is like, I can't. Well, I can't stand her. No, like
modern day,
absolutely cannot. Like, I hate her.
Modern day Whoopi, I have to agree. She's a little repulsive, kind of overbearing. She's kind of like the Rosie O'Donnell. She took the Rosie O'Donnell seat. You know what I mean?
Awful.
But
Rosie O'Donnell, Joy Behar, whatever her name is, all those women on The View, no thanks. I'll pass. I will pass. Okay, so let's get into Sandra Loepp, because I can't with them.
Yeah, she's got to see the movie. It's a good movie. Okay, so Sandra Loepp.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it where she acts like she's a nun or something. I don't know. Yeah,
so basically what it is she's in they placed her in there because she's a lounge singer in Reno, and her boyfriend is a killer mobster, and she witnesses a murder, so they put her in a witness protection program. Oh my god, maybe North Korea is a nun, so they put her in this nunnery.
Can we not with North Korea?
To hide her. And so maybe that's where she's at, is maybe North Korea is a nun now. That'd be a good place for that old slut.
Tell us how you really feel.
She wouldn't be getting any dick. All right, I'm ready. Let's go. So that was my morning.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into Sandra Loepp. Mm-hmm. This happened in Washington Township, Michigan, which is about 30 miles north of Detroit. She was at a bar with her husband. Okay, so how the night started out was they had a party bus. And this happened near me, so that's kind of why I know like a lot about it. But they had a party bus. They went down to Detroit with a bunch of friends, like a group of friends. Mm-hmm. And they met at a bar near their home, got on the party bus, went to Detroit. You know, hanging out there afterwards. And apparently her and her husband got into an argument. And the rumor was around here was that he was mad and accused her of flirting with somebody at the bar.
Oh, Lord.
So they got into an argument. They took it out to the parking lot. They went outside and they were arguing. And apparently her husband left on foot. Now, they lived a little over 2 miles from the bar. And he left on foot, and there was like a bike path from the bar, like over towards their house. It didn't go all the way to their subdivision or anything, but he supposedly got on the bike path. And you could probably Google Earth this. You wanted to get like crazy creative. But anyway, he got on the bike path, took off. She apparently went buffering intermittently. Oh my God. They're buffering.
Who's buffering?
The group.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can you guys hear us? I mean, is it... not watchable.
It shouldn't be buffering. I have 7,000 KBSs.
Yes, buffering for me. Yeah, I was buffering too, but it stopped. Okay. Well, I apologize if there's a shitty connection. I don't know what's going on. But so anyhow, they got into this fight. He left on foot. She went back to go inside the bar. Her phone, her purse were still in the bar.
Okay.
The bouncer or whoever it was at the door. Yeah, go ahead and try to refresh if it's buffering. Would not let her back inside the bar. And I've never heard that there was a reason why he didn't let her back in. I know it was said that she was crying, and obviously she was crying because she got in a fight with her hubby and he left.
Right.
But they didn't let her back in. So her phone was inside, her friends were inside. No one, came out to check on her or whatever. I'm sure they were all drunk by the end of the night. And so anyhow, for whatever reason, she decided to walk home because she had no ride and she had no phone. Okay. And I still think that it's shitty that the bouncer didn't let her back in. And I feel
Do we know why the bouncer didn't let her back in?
No. I've never... How did he walk off if the party... Okay, so the party bus... They took off from that bar. It's called it's not there anymore. It's called Santino's. So the party bus picked them up. So a couple friends, they all drove together to Santino's.
Oh,
and
okay.
then from there, they got on the party bus. So they kind of carpooled to the bar. And then they went and did their thing in Detroit. They went to a comedy club or whatever. Then they came back to Santino's and all went inside to have more drinks. And that was when they got into a fight outside. She couldn't get back in. And I think that that's really pivotal. If that bouncer would have let her back in, she'd probably be alive. So that's always kind of bothered me. Why didn't he? And no one ever said why,
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So no one really made a big deal of that. Why, I don't know. So she started walking home. And she didn't get very far, maybe a quarter mile, if that. And she was struck. And not only was she struck, whoever hit her, she was lodged under their vehicle. And they drove about an eighth of a mile or a quarter of a mile, something like that, and pulled over. There's a mobile home park right there, and it's an old mobile home park, a shitty one. They pulled into the parking lot by the mailboxes, and they literally dislodged her from underneath their vehicle, left her in the parking lot, and took off. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, some young kid was driving by going to work, and he saw her in that parking lot. And he pulled over, and he called 911 and all that. And that's how they found her body. But the thing that bothered me too was unless her husband went home and just passed out, why wasn't he concerned that Sandra didn't come home? And I know his story was something he thought that, she ended up just going home with a friend who was at the bar because of the fight, which I guess, could be possible. But that part bothers me. It's always bothered me. So
yeah, that seems a little strange.
She was about 2.5 miles from home, maybe 3 miles at the most. And I sent you some pictures, Oni. I sent you a picture. Oh yeah, you have the side of the road there. And it kind of shows you. And then there's a picture I sent you too, I think, of in front of the mobile home park. Did I? If you want to Google, can you Google Earth it, or is it too much resources to do that?
Probably going to be too much resources.
Okay, I get it. So anyhow, so after this happened, it was like shocking because it's a pretty small town. So like that stretch of road at like 1:00 in the morning, which is when she left the bar, was about 1:00. Like it wouldn't be surprising if you were the only vehicle on that road at that time of night. It's not a well-traveled road. I mean, it is during the day, and especially now, like we're talking, this was back in 2012, so it wasn't like as populated. Now there's a lot of subdivisions that were built, apartment complexes and things like that. But back, in 2012, a lot of those places weren't there, so it wasn't as busy of a road. So at 1 a.m., I wouldn't be surprised like if there was like 1 or 2 cars on that stretch of road. Even on a Saturday night, like there wasn't a whole lot around there. There was like Santino's, and like everything else on that road was closed at that time of night. Even like grocery stores, everything. So there really wasn't anything there. So that's where.
How tall was she?
I don't know. Maybe 5'4". I don't know.
She looks pretty tall.
Why is Fabby F saying, why did I get a notification to watch this? Maybe because you're subscribed? No idea. Anyway, so that's where it brings me to all these questions. Like, was it someone who lived in the area? Was it somebody who wasn't from the area, maybe was traveling home? Because no one has ever been caught. And the cops said that the car would have significant passenger side damage. Front passenger side. So that means they hit her on, the front passenger side of their car. And, you would have to get that fixed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they were like, be on the lookout for anybody who has, recent damage to their car or truck. Or I guess they determined it was a truck.
Merry Christmas, Prepper.
After like, investigation was, after they were investigating, they determined it was a truck. Now, if any DNA was found on her,
did they get any DNA? I mean, this person physically handled her.
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard that. So you have to keep in mind, you know how it is in a small town, like you don't get the details you get when it's a bigger town. So we never really got, I want to play one of the press releases. And apparently, Raul, they did clear the husband. From what, we were told. We weren't really given a ton of info. Her family has a Facebook page, you guys. If you could go like it, it's Find Sandra Loepp. And it's Loepp. And her family, it breaks my heart. Her family is so sweet. And they miss her so much. And you can just tell they're just all devastated. They were a very close family. And I want to talk a little bit more about what happened after all of this took place, after we get through the press conferences. I'm trying to keep up a chat too. Forgive me, I came in late. Husband left her drunk at a bar to walk home alone at 2 a.m. Nope, there was no cameras around. So let me send Oni this link. So so here, I'm going to read you this article first. Washington Township, Michigan, the Macomb County Sheriff says the body of a woman who was found Sunday morning in Washington Township died after being struck and dragged by a vehicle. The victim was identified as Sandra Lee Loepp, 37, from Washington Township. Police say she left Santino's bar just after 1 a.m. on Sunday and was walking northbound on Old Van Dyke. Loepp was approximately a half-mile north of the bar when she was struck and dragged by a vehicle. Investigators say the woman's body may have been dislodged from the vehicle by the person who hit her. The body was found by a passerby in the parking lot of the Washington Mobile Home Park near Van Dyke and 28 Mile Road. A vehicle traveling on Van Dyke noticed the body laying in the parking lot there and went and checked it out and gave us a call, said Sheriff Anthony Wickershaw. Investigators believe that the vehicle who hit and left Loepp will have damage to the front end as well as the passenger side. Evidence was collected at the scene of the crash and is being analyzed currently. An autopsy was completed by the Macomb County Medical Examiner, Dr. Daniel Spitz. Random fun fact. Dr. Daniel Spitz has an office in my office where I work. He's right upstairs from us. And I had to bring him his mail one time because we got a bunch of his mail. And I went in there and there was like evidence from all these cases, like on the floor, like in boxes. It was weird.
Oh, how interesting.
Anyway, yeah, it was crazy. Spitz said the injuries to Loepp's body were consistent with being struck by a vehicle. Loepp was wearing blue jeans, a tan shirt, brown leather jacket, and a white scarf when she left the bar. So that was like one of the first articles that came out. I'm going to send you the press conference. I want you guys to see.
He was only 37.
And this isn't even recent, you guys. This is 2012, and they've never found who did this. Hang on, I'm trying to find the full version because I don't want to play like the short one. I want you guys to see her family and everything. Okay, here it is.
So yeah, and I have some interesting input on this too, that I want to talk about a little bit, because I know the family is all about getting justice and making sure the person, whoever did this, gets justice served, you know, of course, as they should. But we're going to go into the law aspect of this here in a little bit, because there's some things that might have saved this woman's life.
There you go. Just sent it. And I want to talk about a couple things.
They're looking for any information,
you know, that were rumored to have happened around this area, and kind of speculation about who,
on Saturday, December 15th.
You know, things like that that floated around afterwards. In the years afterwards.
Santino's bar on Van Dyke.
And it is extremely sad.
Hold on, getting the video up here.
Hi, Miss Chris. If you guys could please like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm seeing some new names tonight, which is really exciting. It's actually Sandra. Did he spell it wrong? Oh, Oni.
What?
You got all kinds of spelling mistakes in that scroller. It's Sandra. You forgot the D. And then you have Charissimus. Hey, Prepper. Are we playing it?
Yep, it's going to be playing in just a second. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you can't hear it, so.
I'm going to listen to it on my phone.
Here today to help the Loepp family. They're looking for any information at all regarding the murder of their loved one, Sandra Loepp. On Saturday, December 15th, less than 2 weeks ago, Sandra and her husband drove with some friends to Santino's bar on Van Dyke to take a party bus and have dinner with friends in Detroit. Later that evening, everyone returned to Santino's. Sandra was last seen at 1 a.m. when she left the bar and started walking north on Van Dyke near Campground Road, where she was killed by a hit-and-run driver. Her friends believed that she had a ride home. They did not know she was walking on Van Dyke Road. It is unknown why she chose to walk home. She was dragged for 600 feet when the driver pulled her body from under the vehicle and then drove away. Later that morning, her body was found in the parking lot of the Washington Township manufactured home community on Van Dyke. Sandra and her husband Vernon live in Washington Township with their 5 children. Sandra was just 37 years old. She was the mother of 5 children. had been taking time off to raise her family. She had previously been in management for 15 years and owned the party supply company. She had dreams of owning her own event planning and decorating company. Sandra always wanted to make other people happy. She always added a special touch to any event or party, and every detail had to be just right. She would stop at nothing to make sure her vision was carried out. Sandra is survived by her husband, her children, and a very large extended family and friends. If you have any information of any kind about what might have happened, we are asking that you please make an anonymous phone call to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Or if you wish, you can go to our website, www.1800speakup.org, and also make an anonymous tip. Crime Stoppers of Michigan is offering a cash reward of $2,500 for information that leads to an arrest. There does not have to be a conviction. This reward is also paid anonymously. If this information is received by midnight tonight, there is an additional $1,000 reward for a total reward of $3,500.
Sandy was a
Did he take a press? Or I just have to say something. Did he take a sedative before doing this press conference? Because holy moly, I surely can't. That monotone voice of the press conference.
wonderful mother, caring. She was always there for everyone, parties, everything she could do to help anybody. He was always there. Her father and I want this to be settled. Please come up and let us know who did this. We need your help. Anyone can bring anything. The littlest thing might make a difference. And all her family and friends and aunts and uncles and cousins, everyone would like to get this all done with so we could have some peace and coverage. Thank you.
You know who did this. You know who you are out there. You owe it to God. You owe it to me. You owe it to our family. And you owe it to our kids. You have to come forth. We have to have closure. What you did is just unbelievable. You took a life. You chose to treat her like an animal. And that's not right. So please do the right thing. I know you're feeling guilty, and I know God will make this right. Please come forth and help our family. Put a closure to this.
We are asking for the public's help in this case. Again, our detectives, since December 16th, when Sandra's body was discovered, have been working day and night, trying to bring some closure to the family that's behind me here today. And so, with the help of Crime Stoppers, we are pleading to the community to provide us with information, any little bit of information that you might have. We are hoping at some point that the individual that's responsible, the conscience may get to them and tell somebody, or somebody knows of a vehicle that may have some damage to the front passenger side. That's information. Any little bit will help, and our investigators are going to follow up on every tip, because it's our job to help Sandra and help this family here and bring closure to them.
Okay, guys. So very disheartening. Very disheartening. Okay, guys. So paint transfer. That's a good question. I don't know if there was paint transfer.
You know, we did not get any details like that. Like, they didn't tell us any details, like if there was broken headlights, just that there would be damage to the front and the passenger side. So they never told us what kind of truck, whether it was a pickup. They just said a dark colored truck. So I assumed it was a pickup, but I don't think we're ever specific. It was not really, any details. Tanny, the email is j4justice@gmail.com.
So,
and hi, Christina from California. Welcome. She's new here.
hello, all you newbies.
We only have 77 people tonight. Where is everybody? It's Christmas night. Kick back, chill with us.
So, okay, I have to say something. So I know that the husband, is saying, we want justice. You killed somebody. You did this. And I just have to say, when she left there, obviously she'd been on a party bus. And when you've been on a party bus, you don't sit there and, read the Bible. You're generally intoxicated. So, not that it's her fault that she is the victim of a hit and run. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if somebody was driving down the road and she was, let's say, staggering around on the side of the road, she's emotional. She's been drinking. She's upset. If she staggered out into the traffic or in front of this car, granted, she didn't deserve to be dragged and left.
Well, I want to add in there. There was no skid marks, so they had no way to determine where she was when she got hit, because whoever hit her never put on their brakes, like even after they hit her.
And that's awful. Like, I can't even imagine. But did they even realize that they hit her? Like, even
if they thought it was like a deer or something, wouldn't you think like they would brake?
But let's say they had the music up really loud and they just, it was like a boom. And then
they obviously knew that they hit something because they stopped 600 feet later.
I'm wondering if the dragging is what made them realize that they hit something.
Only they know.
Yeah.
But they did. Okay, so when they hit her, that stretch of road, right? They went around a curve and then there was a light. So whether the light was green or red, then they had to make a left-hand turn.
So they literally went through a stoplight and she's still affixed to the car.
Right. They made like a full left-hand turn and then a right-hand turn into the trailer park.
I wonder how she got so affixed, like how she was stuck under the car. Like, what was, I don't
know.
A scrunchie or like what held her on? You know what I mean?
Hair? I don't know.
Possibly, yeah, her hair.
I don't know, but can you imagine?
600 feet is a long time.
It's a long time on freaking asphalt. I just cannot imagine the condition of this poor girl's body.
Now,
Sydney, yeah, actually, where Sereno's is, you know how the bike path is right there? Sydney is from that area, so you know how the bike path is right there that goes behind Sereno's? Supposedly that's the way her husband Vernon took home, and she was on the road going towards that light. But I just want to talk, before you get into, the whole legalities of it, I want to talk a little bit about my thoughts. When this first happened, I was very suspicious of her husband. And at the time, I did some digging. We did have some mutual friends, but I did some digging and found out that from some things I saw on Facebook that her husband wasn't a very nice guy to her. I guess when they had fought in the past, her family is not a well-to-do family. Her family, is just like, I don't know if they're like middle class. Like, he comes from money. Her family did not. So she was not raised with money. And he would, from what I gathered and from what I heard and saw on Facebook after this happened, was that he would get mad at her and call her trailer trash and things like that. And I thought it was really ironic that she ended up in a trailer park.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, this, they're saying we're frozen.
We shouldn't be. We should not be frozen at all. Are we still froze?
So anyhow, I don't know. So anyhow, I thought that was really kind of weird. And then I thought it was weird that he left and then she ends up hit.
Oh,
But
he
apparently
left.
they,
So here's the thing: is where did the party bus start? Because they obviously arrived at the bar on a bus,
okay,
right?
So yeah, like I said, the friends, they all carpooled to Santino's with friends.
Okay.
So Vernon and Sandra did not have a car there. They rode
Got
with
it.
friends. So they all went to Santino's, probably met there early, had a drink, then the party bus picked them up there. Like it was a trip planned by Santino's bar. So
Mhm.
this party bus was at Santino's. They got on, they left, went to downtown Detroit, and then came back around midnight and went back into Santino's to hang out. So the whole group was in Santino's. They got into a fight, and
Got
instead
it.
of fighting in the bar, they went outside. And
Okay.
apparently it progressed from there. He took off on foot to walk home. So apparently he made it home just fine. But she took off. She tried to get back in, couldn't get back in, couldn't get her phone, couldn't get her purse. So it was kind of a clusterfuck because her friends thought she somehow got a ride home. I don't know. You know how it is when you're drinking? These people, you get stupid. And they all just figured she got a ride home and forgot her purse. So one friend took her purse and her phone and took it home with her. And then somehow caught up with the husband the next day via text or calling. He's like, she never came home, and this is not in Detroit. This is in the suburbs of Detroit. But, somehow they figured out, oh, she didn't come home and oh, she's not at any friend's house. And then that kid found her in that parking lot. So I was suspicious of the husband because I thought, okay, here you have a husband and wife. They get in a fight. She ends up dead, hit by a car. He leaves first. So they supposedly cleared this man. I have no idea, what they asked him. Like I said, we didn't get any details on it. Jill's, they wouldn't let her in. They wouldn't let her back into the bar. So, yeah, that's what I was wondering, Red Lotus. He wasn't worried when she didn't come home and cops had to come get him first. I thought that was weird, too.
Yeah.
That they contacted him like, hey, your wife's dead in this parking lot. Yeah, Remy, this is a really nice town. Like, it's not a bad area at all.
Mm-mm.
And it's not Detroit. I mean, we're talking 30 miles north of
Macomb,
Detroit.
right? Yeah.
Macomb County. Yeah, it's not Detroit at all. But even Detroit isn't, it's not as bad as you think. But anyway, then his behavior after, they had a little boy together. So her boys went with their dad after this happened. And they had a little boy together who was like 3 or 4. And apparently this Vernon wasn't letting her family see the little boy. So all these things I thought were just so rotten. Like this guy has to be fucking guilty, But
Yeah.
I don't think he owned a truck. And I'm saying, I want to say they cleared him. They never really talked about it, but I'm assuming if they thought it was him, they would have figured out that it was him. We never heard either way, but it's all very strange. And their home was about 2.5, 3 miles from the bar. And that's a long walk for somebody at 1 a.m. in the dark.
Yeah.
And it's not like they lived in like a busy town. Like literally after she got off Van Dyke Road where she was hit, she would have been on, like a side road. It was paved, but no street lights or anything like that. And I said, Detroit, they took the party bus down to Detroit and went to a comedy club and out to dinner. There's some really nice, cool restaurants in downtown Detroit. So that's what they did in Detroit. And then they took the party bus back. The cops said it was a truck. They said it was a dark colored truck. I'm assuming they got like paint off of her or something. But you would think if they had paint off of her that they could find out what make and model the truck was. Wouldn't you think?
like what the paint manufacturer, I don't know, it seems like it.
Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit. So this was huge news around here. So weird thing happened. So here we are, in December, it's around Christmas time, and everybody's talking about it, and everybody wants to, help this family find who did this to her. And they're saying, look out for people who are acting strange, who are acting different, things like that. Well, long story short, my husband used to work for a company and for like 17 years. And he left there and they lived, down the street from us. Well, long story short, it was the middle of winter. Tons of snow on the ground. I think it was actually snowing that night. It was right around Christmas time. And I was woken up at 3 a.m. by like pounding on the door. And I woke my husband up. I'm like, dude, someone's pounding on the door. So he gets up and he goes downstairs. And there's footprints up to our door in the fresh snow. And there's footprints back to the road. And he's like, oh my God, I wonder if someone broke down or if they need help. I'm going to, get in my truck and go check it out. I'm like, all right, well, be careful, whatever. So he goes down the road and he sees someone walking. So he pulls up next to him and he rolls his window down and he's about to ask this person, do you need help? Well, the guy looks over and it's someone he used to work with. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to say any names, but he's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And come to find out, this guy's walking barefooted in the snow, no coat on. And he's either high, drunk, both. He brings him, he took him home. He's like, what are you doing? This guy was going through a divorce. He was in a bad way. Took him home and, we thought that was really weird behavior or whatever. And I guess he was, they looked into it or something like that, but they determined it wasn't him. Because the thing was, like, our first thought was, oh my gosh, he drives like a truck with a plow on it. So, but it turned out not to be him. There was just a lot of, weird coincidence things. And then there was another guy in our town who owned a diesel truck place where they like soup up diesel trucks and, where they have like the stacks or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is called, but these guys get these diesel trucks and the like coal or whatever, like that black smoke. Well, this guy owned the shop and very well known people. I didn't know him, but people say he was like really cool, really nice guy, always happy. He committed suicide and everybody that knew him was extremely shocked because like it was just totally out of character, I guess, for him. I didn't know him, but from what I heard, like all these people were saying, he was such a nice guy. He was always so happy. I don't get it. He had a successful business. He was married. He had children. Never seemed, depressed. It was just a really weird.
Well, I mean, and who else would be perfect to fix their own truck?
Right. So the rumor was that it was him and he killed himself. So obviously we would never know if it was him. So that one kind of, I think, still is up in the air.
Yeah.
And that was really the only two leads I heard about. They got tons of tips because her family would, do updates on Facebook and stuff like that. If you go to her Facebook, Justice for, I think I said earlier, find Sandra Loepp. It's not find. It's Justice for Sandra Loepp. And her family has done so much to try to figure this out. They had billboards up. They had signs everywhere and nothing, which is just so weird because this area is not that big.
Well, did they find any like broken like headlight glass or like the plastic fiberglass, whatever that shit is that they use for headlights?
They said there was evidence found at the scene, but they didn't say specifically what it was. We didn't get any details, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
But that's Macomb County for you. We're like Podunk, small town and
right. Well,
You know, it doesn't make the, I mean, it made like the Detroit news, but like brief. You know, there would
it's
be
so
like
unfortunate because they probably could have, you know, nailed down a little bit closer to maybe who or what the vehicle was. That's the thing, is if they say, you know, okay, so we have this evidence, it comes from a dark maroon truck, it's probably more than likely a Ford truck or a, you know what I'm saying? Like more descriptive, people would be like, oh, you know what? My uncle drives one of those. I'm gonna have to check and look and see the next time I see his
yeah,
truck
I mean,
or something, you
would
know?
think they could determine that from paint. I don't know how they knew it was a dark truck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, so what's really weird is that, well, it's not really weird, but I think that, you know, had they drug her 600 yards, I'm thinking they must have had their music on. It must have been some sort of a truck that was loud where they didn't even like really realize it. And then
Another thing too was that's interesting is in that trailer park, a lot of the Mexican migrant workers live there because we have a lot of orchards. So they're here in the summer and they work, you know, in the summer, and then a lot of them live in that trailer park in the wintertime. So they were thinking that maybe it was someone, you know, Spanish speaking and that maybe lived in that trailer park, but I don't think they ever determined. And it could have been, you know, someone who was also coming home from the bar that was drunk.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, who's likely to be on the road at that time?
Yeah.
What time did this happen?
1 a.m.
Okay, because the closing time in Michigan's 2. Last call is usually like 1:45. So I lived in Vegas for 10 years, you guys, and there the laws for hit and run, not necessarily hit and run, the run part is the problem. The hit part, so because in Vegas, public intoxication is not illegal, and you could walk on the sidewalks drunk, you can have your whalebone in your hand full of margarita, whatever.
It is legal.
Or it is legal, yes. It is legal to drink and be publicly intoxicated. The laws there are just the opposite. So here in Michigan, if you hit somebody, the pedestrian has the right of way and you're at fault 100%. Does not matter if they stumbled in front of you, if they were drunk, if they were fucking testing out a new theory that they had a wagon cart that had wings on it and thought they were going to be able to fly. It does not matter what it is. You are at fault. The pedestrian always has the right of way. In Vegas, it's the opposite. The pedestrian, let's say this was Las Vegas that's happening and she stumbled out and she was walking on the side of the road and the person hit her, they would not be held liable because public intoxication is legal. It doesn't even matter if the person was intoxicated. If someone steps out in front of you and you hit them, you are not liable. You can actually sue the person that steps out in front of you. It's just quite the opposite. And my thought in this is obviously whoever this is that did this was terrified because they didn't want to be held accountable for possibly hitting this woman that may have been staggering or stumbled out in front of them. And, you know, that's why they didn't call 911 or they didn't stop right away. The thing is with the whole stopping right away, it makes me feel like they didn't even realize they hit her and they dragged her for some time. And then once they
realized they hit her.
Really?
I don't think you couldn't.
So, I mean, so if that's the case, then this was like an intentional harm. Like you can't just.
It was intentional. I think maybe they could have not seen her, but I think they definitely knew they hit her.
Well, they intended. I mean, they intentionally dragged her for 600 fucking feet. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hit somebody, they didn't stop and say, "Oh my gosh!"
They never put on their brakes.
You know, they didn't put their brakes on. They just kept going, and there she was being dragged.
Know she was under there to pull over 600 feet later and look underneath the car
and get her out. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of an intentional thing to drag her. You know, that far, and then dislodge her. Where, you know, in Vegas, if let's say the person hit her, they may have stopped right away and went, okay, you know what? She was drunk. She was walking. I'm not going to be going to prison for, you know, manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter. It's a completely different scenario. And, you know, regardless, this person, even if it was an accident, I think they would have probably been fucking hung from the balls. But my feeling is on this is that whoever hit her was probably drunk as well. Because I can't believe anybody that has a conscience that is not
The
addle-brained
speed limit is about, I think it's 40 or 45.
would, hit
Oh my
her,
God, we
drag
love
her
you.
600 miles. What?
An ex-boyfriend of mine did a hit and run. He killed the man and then gave himself up the next morning. Holy shit.
Oh my. Well, and see, and that's what I think
Thank you, Pugs.
to process it is even hard to do. Hi, Pugs.
Hi, Pugs.
Okay. All right. I'm transferring my computer, so I'm gonna put myself on mute for a minute. Jay, I'm gonna give you the floor for about 3 minutes. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Wonder if she died in there when they pulled her out, if she was still breathing. Thank you, Pugs. I don't know if they determined that she died on impact or not. But her family went through doing all of these fundraisers and this awareness, and just really heartbreaking to see. I'm trying to find. My brother-in-law had a child. He is paralyzed and he is in mental. Oh my gosh. I don't know, Pugs. That's weird. I don't know. My brother-in-law had a child. He is paralyzed. I mean, that's awful. I just don't know how you could go on. I don't know how you can just go about your life. And the one guy that, committed suicide, it was just kind of weird to think, that maybe he did it. And I mean, how would you know? Yeah, what made him wait? Like, did he just freak out? Pugs, that is so sad. And I don't think they could determine how fast the person was going because there was no skid marks. There was no point of impact. I mean, how could they determine that? There's no way. It was dry. It was about 40 degrees. So, Cookie, you guys in Sebring, do you remember the hit and run when Caitlin Cooper was hit? Any of you remember that? Trying to. I was walking with her that night. Thank you. We love you. That's so sweet. Okay. I think Oni was moving his computer. We're kind of hooked up through him, but yeah, Cookie, my son was her boyfriend, and he was walking with her when the accident happened. I forgot about you guys being from Sebring. Any witnesses? No witnesses. I think they knew how long she was dragged because either her shoes or something were, where she got hit. And then they, obviously where she was left in the trailer park.
That's why I'm wondering if they had, broken elements from the vehicle that hit her on the side of the road.
It said there was evidence at the scene, whatever that means, right? They didn't give us shit to go on.
Right. So they say the scene, but the scene of where her body was found, or the 600 from where it happened?
I think like her shoes were in the road, so they knew approximately where she got hit. That's how they determined where she was hit versus where she was left, like how many feet that was. There would be skin, etc. on the road. You would think so, but she was also wearing jeans, a leather jacket, a scarf. I mean, a leather jacket is going to hold up a little bit, right? I mean, not to be gruesome. but
Yeah.
it's not like she was wearing a tank top versus, you know, she was wearing a leather coat.
In 600 yards, so how many yards are in a football
600
field?
feet.
Or 600 feet? How many feet are in a football field, Jake?
Fuck if I know.
300. So she was carried the half the length of a football field.
Right, that's why bikers wear leather, exactly.
Wait, you said the football field's 300 feet?
300 yards, I would think, isn't it?
300 feet. So 2 football fields then. She would have been dragged. She was dragged 600 feet. That's two football fields length, correct? Or about the side, about the length of a city block?
Well, they said 600 feet, so. Yeah, I mean, the driver could totally live in another state. They could have been here driving through. I mean, they could live way up north. They could live anywhere. It's just really sad, you know, because this was a mom. This was somebody's mom and somebody's daughter. And it just makes me sad to think that, you know, they just want to know what happened. And I want you to play these videos of her sons.
Yeah, I am right. So a standard city block in a rural neighborhood, okay, is about 660 feet. So that'd be like if you were at a stop sign going down your small town city street from one stop sign to the next stop sign on a city block, that'd be how long she was dragged underneath that vehicle. That's quite the distance.
Yeah, it is. And going through a light and, you know,
making a turn
left at the light. And yeah, I'm trying to look on my computer to show you, but I'm going to send you a couple links. I want you to play these videos for them.
Okay. Now that our internet's back up. I'm sorry, you guys, my family was out in the living room and we were celebrating Christmas and they were playing board games and stuff. So I moved myself into the bedroom and it's really far away from the router. So that's why the internet was shitty for a second.
I just want to say, you're going to watch videos of her boys that she had with her first husband. These kids are amazing. Like, what strong boys they are. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
What good kids. You know, she really raised nice boys. And it's really sad. And from what I understand, her ex, Vernon, does not let her family see their little boy, Brody, that he has no communication with Sandra's family, and they do not see that youngest boy. And that is heartbreaking to me.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to put this up. This is her son, and here's the video.
If you're the person that hit my mom, it would help us all if you came forward, because we all seek answers for 2 hard years of just not knowing what's going on and having scenarios run through our head. It just kills us to not know. Having answers what happened. Help.
Oni, we can't see it. Oni, we can't see it.
How can you not play it? See it? It's playing right now.
Oh, never mind. I can see it.
I set out on a narrow way.
Oh, this isn't what I wanted. Oops.
That was a 29-second interview with her son. Do you want me to play it again? And you may have missed it.
29 seconds.
Chandler Decker, 29-second hit and run.
Can you hear me?
Exposed. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
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 What do you mean it was 29 seconds?
It's a 29-second video.
It shouldn't be.
It says Chandler Decker, and it's a 29-second video.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Then that's the wrong video. Here, I'm gonna.
Oh, Jesus.
I sent you another one of her other son.
Okay.
Did you get that one?
That's a 40-second video. This one's 40 seconds. Are you ready?
Just play the damn thing.
Okay, here we go.
Whoever was responsible for the accident, whoever might have caused it, as I said before, we're not looking for revenge. We're not out to get you. All we're looking for is justice and closure on the case for Mike. I feel we all deserve it. I feel in the bottom of your heart, you know what you did was wrong. It would bring peace and closure to everybody. Just come forth, tell the truth.
Okay, so now play the dad. That was her oldest son, I believe.
In a different direction, talk to your doctor about Xeljanz, a pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. Xeljanz is the first and only FDA-approved pill for moderate to severe UC. It can reduce symptoms in as early as 2 weeks, improve the appearance of the intestinal lining, and provide lasting steroid-free remission. Xeljanz can lower your
I understand that this probably was an accident. You're afraid of getting caught and paying the consequences, because the consequences would be severe. No doubt about it. Freedom, might have children, wife, family that you care about. No, you took the life of somebody who had a family they cared about, and they're gone. Their children are without mother, anybody to give them the guidance. I wish you would turn yourself in. Probably isn't going to happen, but I wish you would. And if you have any friends out there that know what's going on, think about the pain and suffering the family has gone through. Drop a dime. Call Crime Stoppers. The reward is up to $12,500. I'd be glad to see you get it.
Person that killed my sister. I say killed because it may have started out to be an accident, but your vehicle hit my sister. Life that didn't just hit her and keep going. It was attached to your drive. Drag her vehicle, pull into a parking lot, move her from your vehicle. She was our sister. She was a friend. She was someone that I could call and talk to. That's no, wasn't a deer or a dog that you hit and leave on the side of the road. She was, who know that. You had to look at her that night. And I hope that image is frozen in your mind. Get every day. Only way for you to get closure and to move past that is to come forward and confess what you've done. Loved our sister. Our parents loved her. She had 5 beautiful kids who loved and adored her, and she loved and adored them. She was a devoted wife, devoted to her family. She was anything for anybody. You didn't just destroy her life that night. You didn't just take her life. You took all of our lives that night. There's a piece of our hearts that is broken that will never, ever, ever be repaired. We miss her every day. We can't pick up the phone and call her. We can't hug her. We can't ever see her again. We didn't even get to see her and say goodbye to her at her funeral. We had to have a closed casket because of what you did to her. We didn't get to see her one last time. We didn't get to hold her hand when she took her last breath. You took that away. You didn't call 911 and even give a chance for someone to come and try to help her. We loved her. We miss her. We just want answers. We want a little piece of closure. We know that you coming forward will never bring her back. Nothing will change that. It'll give us that little piece of peace in our hearts, be able to move forward and to move on with our lives, and to be able to focus on her kids and our kids and our families the way that we should be focusing, instead of having to continue on this journey to try and find you. Please come forward. Please tell somebody that can come forward and can help you.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay, so there's a few of her family members. I mean, she's got several sisters. I don't know if you guys want to see them all. They're very short. But the one sister I showed was probably, she's the most outspoken one of all the siblings, you know, since this happened. So she's kind of been the one that, you know, was in the media space, you know, doing all the interviews and things like that. Let me see what else I have as far as videos go.
Yeah, I had that volume cranked up as loud as it would go, both on everything.
Well, it was just that the logs were like cutting her out. That's all.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like when the logs would crackle, it would make her silent.
Oh.
She wasn't loud enough to like talk over them, I guess.
Yeah, because I've had them off since we started doing the things. But it was still going?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Michigan is getting sad.
I have a video that I want to play that it's like her nephew made. And I think it's just a nice video. You texted me in all caps.
Like, it is off.
I know. I'm like, turn the fucking blogs off.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so wait, we love you. I had a question. Does the husband keep her memory going by speaking up years later? No, and fuck no. He does not.
That's the video with the music.
It says it's 9 minutes long.
9 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's pretty long.
And it's all music with picture slideshow. So what I'll do is I'll play the slideshow and just turn the music down.
Yeah, do that. That's perfect.
And we'll just keep chatting.
The husband has not spoken out at all. Like, the only time I've seen him speak out was at that press conference that we showed you with Crime Stoppers. That was the only time I ever saw her husband, Vernon, speak out. And then I, found out that he would call her trailer trash. They did not have a very good marriage. He wasn't very nice to her. And, I would go out on a limb and say that he was probably abusive. I mean, we know he was verbally abusive, but it wouldn't shock me if he was also physically abusive. I mean, that's, strictly my take on things. But Pug said my nephew was literally driven over in 1977. She got caught finally in 1992. How did she get caught?
Wow, that's a damn long time.
It is a long time. How did she get caught? She was very pretty, and it's so sad that this man doesn't let her family be a part of that baby's life there that they had together. I think that is so freaking sad. And you'll see pictures of her and her family, and you can definitely tell that, you know, she comes from a family that did not have a lot of money. And
she looked very classy.
From
She
the sounds of it,
she didn't look,
you know
what I mean? She looked classy. She kept up her own.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, he would obviously like hold that against her.
That's bullshit.
And together, you know, they had money. I think he had a decent job, and they lived in a nice home in a nice subdivision. And yeah, I mean, the baby will grow up, but it's really sad because they're missing out on watching him grow up. Yeah, we do have grandparent rights, and you know, maybe they did do something, you know, between 2012 and now. I don't know if, you know, what's going on now. I do know that he moved out of the house they were in together and moved a couple towns over. And that's all I know. But his ex-wife didn't have very nice things to say about him on Facebook when this happened. His ex-wife that he has 2 girls with was very outspoken in that he was abusive to her. And that was the reason they divorced. I mean, there was a lot of shit that came out, and it didn't shed him in a very good light.
I mean, do you think he's rageful enough to do something like this?
I have no idea. I don't know the guy, but you know, there was also the first fundraiser they had, I think, was at Buffalo Wild Wings. And they had a, you know, just like you come in there, and I think Buffalo Wild Wings was donating like a percentage of the meals, whatever, towards the cause. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even there. Oh. You know, it's just all these things. And, you know, and people were like, well, he's too distraught and da-da-da. But her fucking kids were there. Her boys who were, you know, I think preteen and teenager age.
And what did she do for a living?
She owned like a party supply company, they said. Oh, okay. And then she just had, you know, she had her baby, and I think he was 3. So she was just being a mom at that time. And she wanted to do a like interior decorating or party decorating company. She wanted to start that up. Apparently she was very good at decorating and hosting parties, and she was very detail oriented and
the perfect first lady.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure about his I know, look at that one of her with them dressed up like Captain America? Shanna Banana, I've missed you, girl. Where have you been? But I also have a feeling, and I'm just speculating just based on the things I heard about this man, I have a feeling he probably wasn't very nice to her boys that came from her first husband. Because the first husband is more like, I think he's like a roofer, you know, he's blue collar worker. And I just think that this Vernon was kind of judgmental, and I don't think he was very nice.
Kind of pompous.
Yeah. But as you can see from the photos, I mean, she hung out with all these girls from Washington Township. They golfed, they played tennis, you know, you get the idea. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trailer homes. I'm just saying this man
would belittle her because she
came from a family that was less than what he grew up with.
I don't know what that was the chief of the police that did that press conference, but holy moly.
No, that was the guy from Crime Stoppers. He's the Crime Stoppers guy. And then that was the sheriff at the end. But I mean, you can see they golfed. And then
she had a good little group of girlfriends, and.
But did she? I mean, if my girlfriend left her phone and her purse, I would have been looking for her, and I didn't see her for an hour. I don't know. I'm not blaming anyone by any means. But I don't know. I don't
Well,
think
did she
they
throw
knew
a
her for
fit?
that long.
I mean, were they his friends that they were out there with? And you know what I mean?
I don't think they knew her for that long. I think because she didn't grow up in that area, so I don't know if they knew him and then met her through him type thing. But she was his trophy wife, wasn't she?
Yeah. And she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a Barbie.
Yeah, I mean, it just blows the mind. It blows the mind. But somebody had said that was it Red Lotus? I don't remember who it was that said that their nephew got hit in 77 and the person got caught in the 90s. The reason she didn't stop was because she didn't have any insurance. No, Pugs, it is still unsolved. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. You know, I guess living near where it happened in December, it always kind of, every year you think about it. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, did this happen right before Christmas?
It happened on December 16th in 2012. So, yeah. I mean, I just think about her kids every year, you know, how awful. I don't know. She just looked like a fun gal, you know?
Yeah. She looks like she loved life.
And her family like loved her so much. And it just breaks my heart. And I hate to judge him, but he just looks like a dick. And I don't know him, you know, so I can't say he was a dick, but he just, from what I heard from his ex-wife, which I'm sure his ex-wife's not his biggest fan, but yeah, still unsolved, which is just crazy.
Now, is that her mom?
That's her mom. Mm-hmm.
Mom looks like a nice lady too.
Oh, she does. She does. And we have like a festival every year. It's called the Peach Festival. And they had, I think it was like the first year or two, they had a table, you know, just to raise awareness. Like, have you seen anything? Or, you know, just to kind of be in everybody's face. Like, because if somebody was feeling guilty, it may, you know, it may bother them to see that, you know what I'm saying? Or if someone, you know, maybe thinks back, oh my gosh, you know, so and so, you know, had their truck fixed or, you know, something like that. So they got out there and they sold t-shirts and armbands and they had signs up and flyers and billboard. They had 2 billboards. I thought it was really kind of weird. One of the fundraisers they had was actually at Santino's, which was a little odd. They did like a casino night and I was like, so they're going to have all these people there drinking for casino night at the bar where she went missing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the video just ended actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to get that out there and see what you guys thought. I mean, I don't want to put any bad thoughts in anybody's mind about this guy, but
well, and the reward, I mean, what were they offering up? $2,000?
It was pitiful.
That is pitiful.
The reward was pitiful. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no one's going to talk for $2,000.
I think it ended up going up to 10.
Maybe for 10,000, someone might squeal.
Right. I mean, Raul, because obviously this guy was just a dick. I mean, to walk on foot.
Walmartians, a must for YouTube. Mm-hmm. I thought bad vibes. He looks like he's like Secret Life like dude. His eyes are hard and cold. Brown eyes are very warm. $2,000 what? Right? Oh my god, I know her cousin Jerry.
Who?
Oh, it's
cousin.
Must be Sandra's.
Really?
I think this dude is used to punting out. Yeah. And what kind of a car did he drive? Did he drive a truck?
I don't think so.
Oh.
But I don't know.
I mean, if he was drunk and in a rage and he's seen her and he's like, fuck it, I'm going to,
Well, he would have, and I don't know how long. See, that's the question. How long was she talking to the bouncer and not able to get back in?
And not only that, I mean, if you tell the bouncer,
And
hey,
he would have had to walk home to get a car.
so was her purse just left at the bar? Who took that?
Her friend.
So her friend's like, well, she just left her purse and.
Right. And then didn't do anything with it till the next morning. I think either that or she tried calling the husband that night and he didn't answer. I don't remember which one it was. It's been so long now.
No. Strange.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he was cheating either. See, these people are thinking exactly what I thought. And I don't know if she asked for her things. I'm not sure what she said to the bouncer. You know, I would like to know that. What did she say to him? Why wouldn't he let her back in? And why wouldn't he go get her shit so she could at least have a phone or tell her friends? You know, hey, my friends are in there. My husband just left. I don't know if she was stumbling around. Apparently, Pugs found a new something. Let me see.
What'd you find, Pugs?
I'm going to go to the link. Oh, this is from 12/19 of 2012.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Last week, 37-year-old Sandra Lee Loepp went out with friends in Washington Township, Michigan, on the outskirts of Detroit. At around 1 a.m. Sunday, she decided to walk home from the bar. The mother of 5 children would never make it. While walking, an unknown driver struck Loepp and dragged her body some 600 feet. What happened next is what sets this case apart from the hundreds and thousands of other hit and runs that occur in the United States. We are told that the person got out of the car and pulled Loepp out from under the vehicle and then just drove away. Later that morning, her lifeless body was found in the parking lot in front of the office of a mobile home park. That detail comes from a MyFox Detroit story on Loepp's horrific death. They have video on the memorial services too, at Fox 2 News headlines. 3 days later, police have yet to release details of what make and model of vehicle could be tied to evidence left at the scene. When they do, we'll update this post or start a new to catch a car one if there is video. In the meantime, Loepp's loved ones just want the driver to turn him or herself in, and they have an unbelievably graceful way of expressing it. I don't think the person that hit her had any evil intention in them. I think it was an accident, and I think they got scared and ran away. But there's a time to step up. We're not looking to hurt anybody, sue anybody, or be vengeful, but you can free yourself by admitting what you did, and I know they're suffering in their own way, said her father, Roger Crow. Here's the full press release that the Macomb County Sheriff's Office emailed John Jalopnik upon request. Sheriff Anthony Wickersham reports that his department is continuing the investigation involving Sunday's discovery of a deceased white female. The body of a female was found in the parking lot in front of the office for the Washington Mobile Home Park. The investigation has revealed that the victim left Santino's bar at approximately 1 a.m. on Sunday and walked northward bound on either the shoulder or the roadway of Old Van Dyke. The victim was approximately a half-mile north of the bar when she was struck. Investigators believe that the victim was dragged by the vehicle and then was probably dislodged from the vehicle by the person who had struck her. The victim was discovered on December 16, 2012 at approximately 8:20 a.m. by a motorist who was traveling in the area of Van Dyke, south of 28 Mile. Investigators believe that the vehicle that struck the victim will have damage to the front end as well as the passenger side of the vehicle. Evidence was collected at the scene of the crash and is being analyzed. This evidence may lead to the responsible party. An autopsy was completed by the Macomb County Medical Examiner, Dr. Daniel Spitz. Dr. Daniel Spitz concluded that the injuries were consistent with being struck by a vehicle. The victim is identified as Sandra Lee Loepp, 37 years old, from Washington Township. Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's office at 586-307-9412 or 1-800-SPEAK-UP, Crime Stoppers. So there's some comments on this article, and this guy named Dookie says, I'm the one that brought this up to the Heidi. A friend of mine from high school works with the victim's sister and brought this up on Facebook. I knew my fellow Jalops have a track record of IDing car parts and helping catch the criminals who do such terrible things. So I asked Matt if he could use his journalistic powers to get pics of any parts left at the scene. Hopefully the Macomb County Sheriff has someone read Jalopnik and seize the asset they have at their disposal. They have people that were willing to step out and say, we can help try to identify this.
Yeah, so I sent you another thing too.
Okay, let's see.
Red Lotus found.
All right.
I mean, I'm talking in the chat about, trying to get the records from this investigation, and I'm just wondering if everybody would be interested in seeing what I could get.
Yeah.
Because, that's part of, what I use this money for too, that is donated. It's, like I have to pay for the Cora request for the Broussard case, which I've filed.
Yep.
And, getting stuff like this. It's cool to be able to dig and find more. And I want to see, who they interviewed, what happened.
So this is an interesting article. This is on HNGN. This is Who Killed Sandra Lee Loepp? HNGN.
Is this a video, Oni, or no?
No, it's an article.
Oh, okay.
It says, true crime contributor John Lieberman investigates. Who could do this and walk away and just continue their lives? Christy Bottle asks herself, and anyone who may be able to make sense of the horrific death of her beloved sister Sandra. Because how could the universe be so cruel? Hour by hour, questions Christy fears may never be answered crowd her mind. Was the killer drinking? Was it someone with a police record? Do the images of that night replay in his mind over and over as they do for Sandra's loved ones? Does he think about Sandra's children and what they're going through? The case, You Know Who Killed Me, prompts the billboards that's positioned just feet from where the 37-year-old Sandra Loepp was struck and killed in December of 2012. She had gone out with friends in Washington Township and the outskirts of Detroit to a local bar. She and her friends met there and then took a party bus to and from a restaurant in Detroit. HNGN has learned that later that night, she and her husband got into an argument and he stormed off, intending to walk home. Family members say Sandra followed shortly thereafter. Her friends unaware she had chosen to walk the mile and a half home. But she never made it. Approximately a half hour after beginning her walk around 1 a.m., an unknown car driver struck Loepp with incredible force. The vehicle dragged her body approximately 600 feet. Someone in the car, the driver or a passenger, pulled her shattered body out from under the vehicle. Then the car just drove off, abandoning the mother of 5 to die alone. It wasn't until later that morning, after a passerby found Sandra's body in the parking lot of a mobile home community, that anyone knew she was missing. Now they were being told she was dead, killed in a horrific manner. Her injuries were so significant that we didn't have the option to see her or have an open casket, says Christy Bottle, now 37, who is Sandra's little sister, the baby of 7 siblings. Sandra was the second youngest. Sandra was strikingly beautiful, tall and thin, and always dressed to the nines, but her family says her inner beauty was really what made her special. She had the biggest heart, always doing things for others and putting herself and her happiness last, says Christy. She was also very determined. You never wanted to tell her something couldn't be done because she would go that extra mile to prove it could be done, especially if it meant bringing joy to someone's life. Our family has been pretty shielded from the extent and details of her injuries. Every one of us has imagined it, though, says Christy. Sadly, Christy says that Sandra's husband's grief has manifested in cutting off communication with his wife's family. The neighborhood and community immediately rallied, posting flyers, hanging signs, raising funds for billboards, and helping raise nearly $13,000 for the reward fund. The community also helped her 3 sons and 2 stepdaughters. We do our best to be there for her kids, but no one can ever replace that relationship that they had with her, says Christy. She was a terrific mom who only wanted the best for her kids. We need to find her killer. Whoever did this is a monster without a conscience, says a law enforcement official familiar with the case. He needs to remain anonymous because he's not authorized to talk about it publicly. To just leave her for dead is despicable. The investigation. From the get-go, police have said that the case has been a difficult one. There is no physical evidence that will lead us to a suspect, says Detective Sergeant Melissa Stevens. We will solve it, but it's going to take a tip from the public. Now, HNGN has learned that police have followed more than 70 leads. They have ran down a number of names that surfaced and a number of potential vehicles that may have been involved, but so far nothing has panned out. Every tip that has come in has brought... I just got a pop-up ad right in the middle of my thing. Sorry, guys. Please, every tip that has come in has brought us hope. There were a couple that seemed so promising that we thought this is it. There was a couple that seemed so promising that we had thought, this is it. We finally got that person, only to be brought back at square one, Christy says. Police believe Sandra was crushed by the car and died quickly. Investigators believe the car had to have been traveling at a high rate of speed, 60 miles per hour, within a residential speed zone, for such an accident to have created such injuries. Police found species of Sandra's hair at the impact point and all the way to the place where she was abandoned. Additional evidence that she was dragged underneath the vehicle. One thing investigators know for certain is that the vehicle must have sustained significant front-end damage. What's more, police believe the suspected driver may have been drinking and may have been from the area or visiting someplace familiar in the area. The reason? The driver was traveling on a local access road and not on the highway that runs alongside it. Detectives have spoken to dozens of people who were in the area that night and contacted a number of collision shop owners, asking them to notify police about anyone seeking repair work that might have been caused during the hit and run. Thinking of what she would do is what driven us to keep this going, says Christy. We know if this happened to any one of us, she'd push to search for answers and wouldn't stop until they were found. We want as many people as possible to be familiar with her story, so when the person or persons responsible finally slip up and say something, the people around them will be familiar with her story and be able to make the connection. HNGN has learned that other hit-and-run accidents in the area have been solved after tips were called in, even from tipsters who thought they were calling about Sandra's case. The family takes to Facebook. Christy has set up a Facebook page for members of the community to talk about the case and drum up leads. She believes the killer could even be following the developments on Facebook. I would think they would try and keep tabs on the progress of the investigation. We pray that one day we will get the call, the one telling us there is an arrest being made, Christy says. To help us, please visit the Justice for Sandra Loepp, and it's Loepp, Facebook page. Tipsters can provide information anonymously by calling Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. That's 1-800-773-2587.
Wow, thank you for reading that. That was really long, but it was good. That was a good article.
Yeah. Oh, and sad. You know, I mean, her family,
I know.
I can't
They break my
imagine.
heart.
It
They break
just,
my heart.
it's gut wrenching. And, you know, the thing is, too, is there's a couple things I want to talk about, but I have to go to the bathroom first. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness. What is in the description? I'm trying to keep up with chat. I agree with Raul, would like to check husband's phone and text 1 hour before and after the incident. For sure, for sure. And, you know, that's why I'd like to see what kind of evidence they uncovered in their quote unquote investigation. I did have a Merry Christmas. Thank you, Courtney. I'm so excited. My son and his wife are expecting in March. And I hadn't seen her for a month. And I saw her Christmas Eve and then again this morning. And she's totally popped. And I was able to put my hand on her tummy and feel her kick. And it was just really cool. I'm so excited. There was no cameras. No cameras. And I don't think the trailer park had any cameras. Let's see. Her son's feelings about him. You know, they never really spoke out about him at all. Her family handled themselves with 100% class, you know. Shanna, I'm going to buy a mug next week. Jay, can we take a selfie of us drinking from our mug and be featured in a future live photo slideshow? You're funny, Shanna. You are funny. Oh, Courtney, I know that's what everybody tells me. I cannot wait. Hey, Jamie, so glad you are back. Yeah, thank you, Lacey, for sharing my Twitter. You know, I don't have a link for the merch yet. I've just been selling the mugs because I just I'm playing around with it. I'm not sure what else I want to get. I'm kind of, you know, getting some ideas. So I do have mugs. I do have stickers. I include those in some of my Patreon donation tiers. T-shirts. I'm still trying to perfect, you know, some of the stuff, but I had a request for wine glasses, so I'm looking into that right now. And make sure you guys that, and what I was going to say, if you want a mug, all I've been doing is, you know, getting PayPal'd $15 and then sending out the mug because I have mugs on hand. But make sure that you guys subscribe to Oni's channel, True Crime and Gossip. Please, please, please. He's trying to get his subscriber number up. Yep, you mods are awesome. Promote the hell out of what? The wine class? I want to, yeah, I'm trying to find a good one, you know. I want it to be nice. I don't want to get cheesy stuff. So I really like the mugs. The mugs turned out cool. Yeah, he has True Crime and Gossip, and then he also has Ask Oni. So you can subscribe to both. On Ask Oni, he does a lot of like makeup tutorials and reviews and stuff like that. And on the True Crime and Gossip, he does a lot of, we cover cases there, we cover cases here. Yeah, hoodies for sure are cool. So I'm going to look into that, the hoodies and the wine glasses for sure. Get her off the table, please. He went to go use the bathroom. Yes, so Oni and I have known each other since 2012. I do not watch Big Brother. Nope. I'm a Scorpio, Shanna. Oh, my daughter. Are you really? I am. I'm a Scorpio. That's probably the best sign that there is Scorpio. Yep. Yep. We're loyal. We're passionate. We're just all around good people. Not just Scorpios. I'm getting dirty looks over here. My moon sign? I have no idea what that is. How do you know what your moon sign is?
You need to know your birth.
Is that why you keep asking me? I got to look at your birth certificate. Shanna says, cool, I'm an Aquarius. We're always drunk. I have no idea what that means. I just know my sign. Taurus. Jay, do you post to Australia? What do you mean by that? Post to Australia? What are you laughing about? What video? See, some of these, I'm a Scorpio and I'm married to I don't know what he is. What is April 11th? Yeah. Oh, you mean like, do I ship? Yes, of course. I'm sorry. And when you said post, I'm thinking of a post on a damn, like Facebook or something. I get it now. I get it. Yes, of course. I will mail there. If you want it sent to Australia or another country, just add $2. I'll do it. He's an Aries? Yeah. Okay, so I'm married to an Aries. Nancy says Aries and Scorpio are a good match. Yep. Thank you, Marley. Thank you. Thank you. My daughter sits here and laughs at me. It's great to be laughed at. Can you go eat your cereal in your room, maybe? Mars is fire and energy and passion.
Ooh, okay, I'm back. I'm a little breathless.
Time. Now, you know what? You leave, and now we're on to zodiac signs.
No, we can't. We have to go back because there's something I want to talk about.
Oh, shit. Okay, put the brakes on.
Put the brakes on, folks. So what's really interesting to me is that I didn't realize this. So her husband left on foot before her.
You're just now picking that up? Come on.
And she went, I'm just now picking that up. So her husband left before her. This is why the friend has her purse and her stuff. She probably thought she went to go track him down.
Yeah, I guess
I was thinking the husband was still in the bar or drinking 2 more beers and having a good time with the friend still.
No. He stormed off.
Okay.
And like I said, he walked on the bike trail.
Oh, he
Good
says.
night, Shanna. Have a safe flight. So yeah, he took the bike trail towards home, which if she would have taken the bike trail, it was.
Do we know for sure? Has he been spotted? Does he have evidence or proof of that?
I don't think so. I think.
Because could it have been possible that she caught up to him if she left shortly after he did and she ran? He don't look like much of a runner. She's more petite and could probably run.
I thought too that they caught up and got into a fight.
And maybe he pushed her in front of the car?
Like maybe he pushed her in front of the car, or maybe like they were fighting and it was like an accident. I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of thoughts. I
Yeah.
had a lot of thoughts about that. I don't think he had enough time to walk home,
Get his car and then come back
get
and run
his
her over.
car,
Right.
and come back and hit her. I don't think he did because he wasn't a small dude either. It's not like he was a jogger.
Right, exactly. No. That's what I'm saying. She would have been able to catch up to him. He definitely walked. You could tell he's not a jogger or a runner, and she probably could catch up to him quickly, you know?
I mean, I guess it depends on how long she spoke with the bouncer at the door. You know, I mean, if he truly left and stormed off and said, "Fuck this, I'm walking home," and really didn't look back, which a lot of men are like that. Like, they would just walk away and be like, "Fuck you, I'm gone, I'm walking home," and keep walking. Or did he kind of, you know, start walking in his huff and puff and be like, "Well, shit, I'm mad at her because I thought she was flirting with someone and now I've left her there," and start to walk back and cross paths? I mean, I don't know. And I think that he was that type because she was pretty. And if she talked to somebody, he probably accused her of flirting. I would imagine the bar would be somewhat crowded. It's a Saturday night. The place is closed now, and it wasn't like open for a long time. But to get into the bar, there was like a bunch of steps, like to go up into the bar. Because I've been there to eat.
Bye, Shanna. Have a safe flight, honey.
The bouncer did not let her back in because I guess she was intoxicated. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I don't know what the conversation was. That's why I'd like to see the case file. I'm sure if they did their job, they interviewed that bouncer. I would just be curious to know what he said. I mean, if I was her, I would have been like, you know, dude, I just need my phone, my purse. We don't have taxis out this way. I mean, now you could probably get an Uber over there, maybe. But yeah, when you're mad, you walk away. But there's definitely no taxis. I mean, this is a small town. Especially in 2012. There was no Uber, there was nothing like that. Yep, in the boondocks. And that's why I said it wouldn't be odd for, you know, no other cars to be on the road at that time of night. Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing the case files, I will definitely try to get them. And like I said, you know, I appreciate all the donations because, you know, all that stuff costs money when you request it. And I did file the Cora request for the Patrick Frazee files. So hopefully we can get some of that. He did it. He got her refused entry back into the bar and hit her with a car. But see, Marley, we don't know. He didn't have a car there at the bar. Neither one of them drove. They drove with friends. And I did message her sister on the page.
Because, I mean, they may have gotten an argument, but why would he? I just don't understand. Like, even if Aaron,
you, Red Lotus.
If let's say it was you and your husband and you got in an argument and he didn't return home that night, wouldn't you go like wondering where he's at?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really talk too much about him. I just remember getting bits and pieces, like that they, you know, spoke with the husband, and what his version of events was. That he woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna exit the chat for a second. So if you could keep your eye on that because it's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to try to find the articles, and some of them are missing. You know, if you click on them because it's been so long, they're no longer a link. You know, a valid link. But I want to see where they. I'm going to Google his name and see what.
I'm looking at the scroll. It says, you solved.
What? Oh, I know. I told you it's full of freaking spelling errors.
Well, I was in a rush.
Obviously, your little fingers. Juliet, be quiet.
Yep. Not a you solved, it's an unsolved.
Yeah, you solved, and then you had it as
So I had my microphone adjusted today, you guys. Do you think it sounds better? Do I sound clearer?
I can't tell
Do I sound
because I'm
better?
using these shitty Apple headphones. So
I know, but the people that normally listen.
yeah.
Number 1, if you guys think I sound better, or number 2, if I sound the same. 3, if I sound worse. 4, if Oni needs a piece of chocolate. 4.
Yeah, so there was a on topics.com, you know, that TOPIX. It's kind of like an open just message board, but it's gone now. But there was a topics about this case, and people were saying that Vernon was a chauvinistic pig. And this case is actually on Web Sleuths too, if you want to look it up. I don't know what they have
it is on the
going on over there. I just Googled Vernon Loepp. So, ooh, he's a third. So he's Vernon Loepp the third.
The third?
The third. Mm-hmm.
The third.
Vernon Loepp the third.
The third.
Because I just came across an obituary for a Vernon Loepp.
Oh.
So I think that was Grandpa or something. But I'm trying to find articles where the police mentioned, you know, that they spoke to him and what his version was. And I just remember just thinking it was kind of suspicious.
Is he remarried?
That I do not know. Would it surprise me? No.
No.
If he was, no, I wouldn't be surprised. See, and so many of these are so old, these articles. And a lot of them are just her family. Like, he never came out, like, you know, really begging for someone to come forward. Just that one thing that I showed you, this Crime Stoppers.
Right.
Yeah, nothing there. And I'm trying to find where I got that information about old Vernon. Oh, bless you, Jake.
I said, bless you, Jake. Thank you.
See, all these are pretty much the same info. So do you guys think that she was alive laying there and she froze? I mean, it was 40 degrees. I don't think she would have froze. I think being dragged 600.
I mean, the head trauma, you know, alone.
Oh, yeah. And she was so bad they couldn't even see her.
Yeah.
Horrible. Oh my gosh. So here's an article, part of it. I want to read this part. Her mom said that her other daughter, which is, you know, Sandra's sister, received her sister's Christmas gift several weeks before the holiday. The gift was opened recently. So Sandra must have given her like a wrapped gift, and it was angel's wings. We could not believe it. She will be with me forever. So kind of ironic, huh?
Yeah.
Sad.
It's really sad.
Okay, so here's a little bit of info. Not really, but the north on the road or on its shoulder, and the hit and run driver was headed in the same direction. Police recovered parts of the car, but they could not identify the vehicle type. So they had pieces of parts, but couldn't identify. That just blows my mind. I mean,
mine too.
We watched so many shows where they can take like a freaking little like quarter, like an eighth of an inch of a freaking piece of fuzz and figure out what kind of carpet it came from. But we can't find broken car parts and figure out what in the hell kind of make it was.
Right.
Does that even make sense?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't to me either. Who's snoring?
That's Chloe.
Oh my goodness. Chloe snores loud. Here's another article. Let's see here. This one is from May 5th, 2013. So I guess I can read this because I don't think this is a repeat. 4 months after Sandra Loepp died in a hit-and-run accident in northern Macomb County, the driver who took her life has yet to be found and held accountable. We are very disappointed that nobody has come forward, said Kelly Smalley of Memphis, Michigan, one of Loepp's sisters. Loepp, 37, a working mother, died December 16th after she was struck by a car while walking about 1 a.m. on Old Van Dyke near 28 Mile Road in Washington Township after a night of socializing with friends. According to police, the driver apparently dragged the body for a distance before stopping in the Washington Township Mobile Home Park, where he or she got out of the car and dislodged the body, leaving the woman near a stand of mailboxes before driving off. In the days and weeks after the accident, dozens of Loepp's friends, relatives, and supporters have joined forces to create a committee that has canvassed the township, passing out flyers and asking anyone with any information on the incident to notify police. While a number of tips that came into the Macomb County Sheriff's Office seemed promising, none have provided investigators with the information they need to solve the case. Sheriff Anthony Wickersham said detectives such as the Loepp family are frustrated and disappointed with the lack of progress. As a seasoned law enforcement official, Wickersham acknowledges the chances of finding the responsible driver are diminishing with time. That person may end up taking this to the grave with them, Wickersham said, or hopefully the guilt will get to him or her and they'll let us know about their involvement in it, if for nothing else, to bring closure to the family. Santino's, the nightclub Sandra Loepp and her husband had stopped in with friends before she made the fateful decision to walk home in December, will host a 4-day fundraiser this week. Now that is what struck me as odd, that it was a 4-day long fundraiser. And it almost was like Santino's was covering their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 100% of the charity gaming proceeds from blackjack, poker, and roulette will be donated to the Justice for Sandra Foundation for the Loepp children and the Crime Stoppers Reward Fund that now includes several $1,000s. Okay, so now let me stop there. Vernon came from a family with money. It was only several $1,000s. That's all it was worth. And Crime Stoppers put up some of that money. You know, pitiful. The schedule of events at Santino's. Are you laughing at me?
Pitiful.
It is. It's fucking pitiful. The schedule of events at Santino's includes charity gaming running 9 a.m. to close Wednesday through Saturday, along with a silent auction 50-50 and raffles. Wednesday, Posh Palace and Custom Apparel of Romeo will present a spring fashion show at 7 o'clock featuring Romeo High School students modeling fashions for a $10 donation. Thursday, a wine tasting food pairing event. Admission is $30. Friday, live entertainment from The Merge. Saturday, a kids' day from 11 to 3 will feature emergency vehicles, portable safety smokehouse, games, prizes, face painting, and fetch dog rescue. The evening hours will have a mechanical bull and music from Grundy County to not be afforded the right to know who was responsible. She left our establishment that evening, and it hurts me daily to think about what happened, Magnoli said. Her kids are now left without a mother. Her husband lost his wife. That's just not right. Loepp, who had taken time off to raise her family, was employed in management for 15 years and formerly owned the party supply company. Dr. Barbara Horn, a personal friend of Loepp, who was with her on the night of the fatal accident, said the upcoming fundraisers will help build the reward fund and the new foundation. She said the foundation will help pay for college expenses for the Loepp children and will be made available to other children who lose a parent unexpectedly. We will never give up. Not at all. We hope the reward will be an incentive for someone to do the right thing and provide the tip we need, she said. Sheriff's John McCulkey said the case file remains open and is an active investigation, but there's nothing new to report from recent weeks. He hopes additional publicity efforts may result in new information becoming available. Said the case file remains open and is an investigation. So this one says Vern drove home. And, you know, it's funny because all of this came out like in social media that they got into a fight. Like her friends were talking about it and everything. So it wasn't just like a rumor. Like her friends that were there were talking about it. And it kind of makes sense if he had a vehicle there, because then they just probably just assumed they went home together. Like they left and just went home. And true, the night wasn't over. Her friends were still in the bar.
This is weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
So I got to try to get those case files, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be really interesting to see what that says.
Something's just not computing.
Something's
not computing at all.
It sure isn't. All right, let me go back and chat here and see. Oh. You emailed it to me. Okay, let me check my email. Oh my God, Prepper, how did Jay get that big Christmas tree in her house? Isn't it too close to the fireplace? Oh my God. Let's see. If a young girl, rough bar, tennis shoes on, I could see maybe walking home. No, it was not a rough bar at all. It was like this classy, like, come on, it was called Santino's. It was not a rough bar. And she damn sure wasn't wearing tennis shoes. I think she was wearing like heels or boots or on a strange to me. And from what I heard, she was visibly upset. I think there was someone who went into the bar, like that was able to get in, and she was standing there crying. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if like maybe the bouncer was like, these rich people, they can only come up with $2,000. Like one of her personal friends is a fucking doctor. A doctor? Come on.
I mean, I mean, that sounds strange if the husband did leave before her.
Good night, Prepper.
And then she got out and started stomping along. I mean, that makes the case seem completely different than what we
if he had a fucking vehicle there. You guys, go ahead and refresh. They're buffering bad, they're saying. This has got to be fixed. We have to upgrade your fucking internet.
I don't think it's my internet.
Well, what would it be?
It could be YouTube if their servers are funky.
You just got this fabulous new computer.
Yeah, no, because I'm running like 7,000 KBSs. My shit isn't...
Maybe YouTube's lagged.
That's what I'm wondering. Sometimes YouTube will do that.
Velvet's laughing at me. I'm like, this has got to be fixed. We have to upgrade your internet. We have to get you off that America Online. We need to get you off AOL and into this century.
I know, right?
Red Lotus says, love the mic though, Oni.
Pugs is saying Go Lightly's is doing the same thing to her. So it might be just issue with...
Whatever. It's just refresh it if it does that. And sometimes that helps if you refresh. What was I going to do?
You're looking for Vagisil? I don't know.
Really?
I don't know what you're doing. Something like, yeah, I know, dial up.
Oh, I know. And then you log on. You've got mail. Let's see here. So I will try to college expenses for request those records, but I'm going to go and look at my email. One of her personal friends is a Red Lotus center. A doctor?
Sometimes YouTube will do that.
Velvet's laughing at me. I'm like, this has got to be fixed. We have to upgrade your internet. We have to get you off that America Online tomorrow. I'm so happy. I mean, we need to get you off AOL and into this century.
I know, right?
Red Lotus says, love the mic though, Oni.
Hey, Pugs is saying Go Lightly's is doing the same thing to her. It might be just issue with.
Okay. Whatever. It's sometimes that helps. Gosh, what am I gonna do? Oh, they did on this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read this. This was posted.
Oh my God, I'm talking and my mic is off this whole time. Jesus Christ.
I can't.
I can't either.
So her sister posted on December the 16th on the Justice for Sandra Loepp. And she said, another year has passed with no answers.
Oh.
No new memories made. We miss you so much. Sandy, I miss you so much. A letter I wrote when it was 3 years since her death and will continue to share every year. Message to
Thank you, Slots Lover, for the $10.
Ooh, thank you, Slots. Message to the person or persons responsible for taking my sister's life. It's now been 3 years since I received that last communication from her. It was close to 10 o'clock at night on Saturday night, December 15th. That was when she was out. She responded to a funny picture posted by us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Her comment was the last message from her. We miss her so much, and the days have not gotten any easier. The pain is still very raw. Some days I wake up and have to remind myself that she is gone. I cherish those split-second thoughts that for just a moment I forget she's gone and I want to share something with her. And then reality hits me that she is gone. Her memory will forever live on through all of us, and especially her children. We did not just lose Sandy that night. Her children lost their mother, and her family was torn apart. We long for answers to what happened to her that night. We know it will not bring her back. We know it will not take the pain away, but it will help in the healing process and stop all of the speculation of what happened. I have played so many scenarios through my head as to what could have happened that night. Only you know. I just want you to know that I pray for you. I pray for your family. I know more than likely it just began as an unfortunate accident. My heart wants to believe that you did not leave out in your vehicle that night to kill my sister. It has to be a terrible thing to live with, and I'm sure it's taking its toll on you and probably your family. Sandy is gone, but her spirit lives with us always. Her memory will always be with us. Her love lives on through her children. I will continue to pray for the answers we seek, for healing of our hearts, and for all of the families, including yours, that have forever been changed by this tragedy. Sarah. That was written by her sister.
Ugh, so heartbreaking.
It's awful, isn't it? Just horrible. So here's some comments on here too. Tina Marie says, I knew her as a small child back in the years when Deidre was my very best friend on the planet. So sad to hear this. My heart goes out to Roger and Sandy, to everyone that loves her. I always like to read these to see if there's any mention of this Vernon, you know.
Who's Vernon?
Her husband. We've only been talking about this for 2 hours.
I just know him as the husband. I didn't get his name. That's how uninterested I am in him. I think he looks like a fucking prick.
He does. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, Jamie, this is the one she did the podcast on. So now we're covering it on here to see if anybody would like to have the case file be gotten.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't get that. So I know every county and every state is different, but I don't know how that works if it's still an open case.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it's closed, I mean, you can probably still request the files, right?
Well, it's not closed, but it's an open cold case. So
gotcha.
I'm going to try to, see if I can request those.
Where do you request them from? The county?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And every county is different, and what you have to do and shit like that. So it can be a process. But like when we requested the documents for the Watts case, at least Weld County is kind of a little bit up to speed on like, as far as, online stuff. Like I just had to do it online, but with Frazi, not so easy. So with that, it's either you pick up the documents or they snail mail them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They don't have an online portal. So like with Weld County, they just sent us a link, we clicked it, put in our username and password, and we were good to go.
Oh.
Oh. Wow, how sexy does that sound?
So, do you think that...
Yes.
So, when you get these files, then this is going to have the evidence, so it's going to show what pieces that they had as far as the color of the paint and all of that good stuff, right?
That's what I'm hoping, yeah. Okay. And like who they interviewed. How like we saw in the Watts case, we were able to, obviously we had video and stuff of all those interviews, but transcripts of who they talked to.
Oh, thank you, Renee.
I'd like to see when they talk to Vernon.
We'll do appreciationals.
Huh?
Renee said, please subscribe to True Crime and Gossip. Yes, you guys, I'm only 350 away from being able to get monetized.
Yeah, I plugged you while you were...
I'm only 350 away. However, I am able on Ask Oni, so... Ask Oni is up and going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm out of breath. Huh. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this case. I don't have anything else new. I just would like to, I just want to kind of spark some interest and see if everybody would be interested in seeing anything that I can possibly get from the county.
Oh, my True Crime Gossip. So we have a new True Crime Gossip. So subscribe to this old whore, it says. That's the one you want to subscribe to. Yeah.
Do we have any information on Brittany at all?
Last I knew, she shaved her head and went on a binge.
What?
Wait, Brittany? Oh, that Brittany.
Really?
No updates. Nothing on Brittany.
No updates.
Yeah, sad.
Look what Jamie just said.
Oh, she'd heard of me?
He's a goddamn celebrity.
Red Lotus, like and subscribe YouTube channel, and like and subscribe to James
I know.
for Justice.
Thanks, you guys. You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love our group.
I know.
I love our listeners. I love all of you guys who come in here.
And we also love love. We love love.
Well, I just think everybody's so respectful to each other, and it's just, it's refreshing, you know?
Mm-hmm. It really is.
I'm really enjoying this live tonight. It's so calm and fun over here. Aw. See, I love hearing that.
Me too. Where's John tonight? Under a table somewhere?
I don't know where he is. Everybody's kind of recovering from
Did you see his Facebook? It looked like he was cocktailing it up last night.
I didn't know.
Yeah, his timeline thing had him drinking champagne.
Well, he says that he says no rest for the wicked, so I'm going to have to give him a hard time. Oh, thanks, Frank. We love you from Australia.
Thank you, Frank. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, my old True Crime and Gossip. I was on the brink of getting my 1,000 subscribers. And wouldn't you know it?
Oni
But I
broke
created
some
this
sort of rule that we don't know what.
Yeah, but I got. I'm on my. What is this? 3 days on this one. I've already got almost 700, so that's good.
Yes, you're doing awesome. You'll get right back where you were.
I better. I have my watch hours in already. Was Vernon having an affair? Well,
do not know.
We don't know. I mean, he'd be a fool to because she was gorgeous and looked like a sweetheart.
Okay, but as we see from these dickheads, they aren't cheating up.
Yeah.
They are not cheating up.
They are not.
It's crazy. It's just
we don't
crazy,
know.
guys.
Vernon is creepy for an affair. Vernon is too creepy for an affair. Yeah,
I don't think so, man. There's a lot of chicks that would go for a douchebag like that.
I mean, yeah, money talks and bullshit walks. We've seen it a million times.
Mm-hmm.
If these women think that there's money involved, I mean, look at NK after Chris Watts, thinking, oh, beautiful house and money. And then you have, if there's a woman that's after Patrick.
He's a dad. He's a dad.
Why?
Oh, freaking goat.
Why?
Oh, that was creepy. I
know.
No, they did not tell him why he got a strike, so he has no idea. Hey, honey boner.
Yes, Annette. Yeah, you can't keep a good bitch down. That's what I always say. Hi, honey boner.
What's going on? Deidre, so you're going to want to rewind because we are wrapping up here.
We need to give Renee a wrench because she keeps getting... when she talks. She's got one on my channel and she follows me on Scope too. But every time she says something, it gets fucking muted or held.
Oh.
Last night, the goat. That fucking goat. And I actually been texting Jade today, the goat. He's not mentioned in the obituary, and I can't find any marriage records, but I can find birth and death certificates. It's crazy, says Mallory Pierce. We love you. Oni, another YouTuber had to take down his videos of Chris Watts case. Oh, really?
Why?
The ones with the NK bullshit?
Why would they have to remove those videos?
Mm-hmm. The person's name was Daniel Bishop.
Who's Daniel Bishop?
I had to take his vids off too.
Oh, that big guy with the goatee.
I don't know who he is.
Well, maybe he had to take his down because he acted like an idiot.
Automatic wrench if you're on AOL. Roll. Yes, a lot of NK bullshit has been taken down. A friend of mine had her channel taken down too.
NK videos are getting banned?
See, I told you.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Red Lotus just said, yes, a lot of NK bullshit taken down. A friend of hers also had hers taken down too because of them.
Sue YouTube for what though? That stuff was freaking released to the public. Like, it was public record. Like, sorry, chick. I just don't understand how she can do that.
AOL chat room flashbacks. I know. Oh my God. Remember those? You go into like the mail for mail rooms. Well, the M for M.
NK's attorney is just contacting YouTube. YouTube always caves.
Well, here's the thing. Slander is, I mean, okay, so if we call her a whore,
I don't think it's slander to speculate about someone's involvement in something. We're not stating as a fact, like, she did this and she did that. And it's not, I mean, what we're talking about is not affecting her life. What she did is affecting her life. Like,
yeah, what she did is affecting her.
It's true that she was having an affair with Chris Watts.
Yeah.
It's true that she was with a married man.
It's true that she, wrote an email to him saying, "Oh, I wish I had a beautiful family and wife and children just like you," in the middle of June, but yet she was
Merry Christmas, Mighty.
on his ass, according to the news article. She's the one who made herself look like a fool by lying to investigators when they were. I don't think she realized that all of this, the discovery was going to come out and all of her information was going to be exposed.
Hell no, she didn't.
She thought she covered her bases when she did that article with the Colorado Chronicles.
And I'm sorry, it's public record that she Googled anal sex. It's public record that she was Googling wedding dresses and searching up wedding dresses.
Right, but she's the mistress to the murderer, so it does make her involved.
But it's not false. You know, that's not false info.
She was having sex with a murderer. She was in love with a murderer. She was looking at a wedding dress to be engaged in be in a long-term relationship with a murderer who just so happened to kill the wife that he was still married to and their 2 children. Yes, she is very much involved. I have to disagree when someone says that they're not involved.
I disagree with that too. I mean, I'm not saying she was involved in the fact that she killed Shanann.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't use her hands in her, but when you have that association, you're involved,
Right. I mean, sorry about it. She was having an affair with a man who murdered his family. So guilty by association, you know.
She's just as much as involved as what Chris Watts' parents would say would be involved, right?
Exactly. And they're not going around being able to get videos removed and shit.
Yeah, and they're not in the witness protection program because their son is a murderer.
Yeah. I don't even know if I believe that she's in
I don't think she is.
Witness protection either. I think maybe they may have given her advice on how to kind of stay under the radar. You know, that
people claim she
believe.
Either told him to do or she was there when he did it and she wasn't. I think what is suspicious is that the text messages from her phone that she couldn't supply
mysteriously disappeared.
I think that holds merit in itself and is very suspicious. Does that mean that she was?
Not only that, I guess people are taking into consideration the fact that she was screwing around with a married man that she knew was not getting divorced. That's a lie. But people don't trust people when they lie.
She's not a witness to anything because there was no trial. So, that was another.
I just think that, if she didn't have these obvious lies,
so it makes you feel like she's involved because she's hiding something.
And she's lying, yeah.
She's hiding text. Her story changes from person to person depending on who she's talking to. And I think that kind of speaks for itself, if you have nothing to hide. Yes, I am the mistress. Yes, I was fucking him. Yes, I knew he was married. Yes, I knew he had 2 kids and 1 on the way. And yes, I was in his home while his wife that he was not divorced from was on a business trip. Admit your fucking faults. But if you want to lie about them, don't be pissed when people speculate because you're a liar.
Kid Canuck just said, Jay, you were right, though. They did phone chat on August the 12th. I was wrong.
Yeah, they did.
And I told you, kid, I've read all of this with a fine-tooth comb as best I could, And trust me, they were on the phone for their longest phone call on those phone records because her phone bill ended. Her billing cycle ended on the 13th.
Maybe she knew about it, though. I mean, maybe she didn't do the killing, but do you think she might have known about it? You think he told her? Oh my God, I made a huge mistake. Things got out of control.
I don't think he told her. I really don't think she knew he was going to kill them. I really don't. But what I don't like about her are her lies. And John kind of made me see it from a different light the other night. The phone log most definitely shows it, kid. I have the phone log. The phone log shows 111 minutes. I don't know why we're even arguing about it.
Well, let's put it up on the screen. Text it to me.
Oh, God. I have to get my hard drive out. I'm going to argue. Okay. Hang on. I'll get it. It's going to take me a minute to find the goddamn thing.
And show the text messages where all the messages that were deleted. That she's talking to herself, or Chris is talking to himself on her phone, which is really odd.
Well, we don't know what was missing from hers because she deleted them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she
So
knew.
what are you hiding, Heidi?
Well, I think she was hiding her embarrassment, right?
Well, I mean, but here's the thing. Okay, so what embarrassment of what though? I mean, she's already called out as the mistress. What is there? What embarrassment could there possibly be on the day of the murder or the day after the murders that would be so embarrassing that people didn't already know?
Well, no, I don't think she deleted them out of embarrassment. I'm saying she said she deleted them because she found out that his wife was missing when he kind of downplayed it and she thought he was acting weird. And she was just like, oh my God, I want to wipe this guy out of my life. But that was her excuse.
So on the day after the murders, he was acting weird. She wanted to wipe him out of her life, but yet she talks to him again at 2:53 p.m., right? Wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something
I don't know.
fishy.
Well, I don't know either. But what I'm saying is if you're going to delete someone out of your life, you're not going to go and randomly delete just some of your replies to them.
6 or 7
you're
texts.
You're going to delete the entire text.
And you're going to block them and you're going to take them off your phone.
And you're going to take them out of your phone. You're not going to leave just partial. She deleted responses
that she made.
Mm-hmm. And so it made their conversation not look like it made sense. So, kid, if you want to see the phone record, I'm not going to go through 2,000 documents to find it.
Hold on, I might be able to find it. Let me see.
No. I have a video with JLR, and we show it in that video. So you can go and look at that video and see it for yourself. I'm not going to sit here at midnight and dig through 2,000 documents. It's stupid. But Oni, if you want to pull up the video, if you can do that, and it's the video, I can send you the link, the one where JLR came on. But I'm not certainly going to get my hard drive out right now. I'm too freaking tired for that. But I would just think if she had a fucking lawyer, or if anybody had a lawyer that was able to get shit removed from YouTube right now, I would think Plunder and Thriving for the Truth would be the first ones to get nailed by Shanann's family. Because every single title to every video of Shanann's makes her look like she's at fault.
These are so blurry, you can't see it. Hold on. Okay, so this is on a website. It's called Crime Rocket. These are the text messages. You can't fucking see them as clear as because we have the actual document.
Oh, I have the text on my computer. I can text to you. But I'm going to send you this video first.
Are we bad people?
Oh, Plunder? If you YouTube Plunder, they have every single video Shanann ever made. And look at the titles.
I think we should reread the text and narrate them again. Who wants a re-narration of the text messages?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
I'm going to send you this video first, though, because I want you to pull up the phone log.
Okay.
Just looking for it. And you know what, Oni? It never fails. We come on to do
this
Sandra
says
Loepp.
recovered deleted messages. This title says recovered deleted messages from Nicole Kessinger's phone.
I don't know what you mean.
What I'm looking at on Crime Rocket, it says discovery documents 11th tranche, recovered deleted messages from Nicole Kessinger's cell phone.
Yeah, I don't.
But they weren't recovered because you can't see because they were deleted.
Well, you can't believe all these sites. I mean, you really can't, you know.
Won't cost a dime.
And who knows what the frick they're posting to get people to read it. Fuck, I still have to email Jerry Morris.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I got this. Here we go. You want to see? Here you go. There it is. The document. Nicole Kessinger, talk activity continued. Right there, Verizon. August 13th, August 12th, 9:28 p.m. There's her phone number from Thornton, Colorado. Incoming call, 111 minutes.
Yeah, so he called her, or wait, this is Nicole's.
This is
So
Nicole's.
he called her on the 12th, and they talked
p.m.
for 111 minutes. So that would put them getting off the phone roughly a little bit after 11 that night. And then on the 13th at 6:16, right?
Just about the time the bodies are getting buried.
That's when she called Jim. And she was in Frederick. Which I know she could have been driving past on her way to work, whatever. But regardless, there's the 111-minute phone call. The phone logs were released. It's right there.
And then on the 13th, she calls him at 5:01 p.m., 5:02 p.m., 9:48 p.m. with a 50-minute call that night, and at 11:09 p.m. with another 52-minute. So for 2 hours, they sat there and chatted, almost, the day after the murder, right? Or basically the day of the murder.
On the 13th? Yeah. And okay, so I want to point out something else. I have another video.
But she deleted the messages from that day on her text message, and the reason she deleted her text message that day is because she was done with him and wanted him out of her life. But she was sure going to have a fucking 2-hour phone call that night with him.
Okay, so go down again so I can see the 5 o'clock call.
That went to voicemail.
Okay, so C501. Okay, then C502. She calls Chris. Wait, where do you see incoming? Yes. Okay, so she called Chris at 5:02 p.m. See that? Now, I have a video posted. Now, listen to me for a second. I have a video posted, and the title of it says, Chris Watts answers NK's call. So it's so crazy. He's standing in front of his garage talking to an officer. His freaking phone rings. And he answers it. And he says, I got to call you back. Okay, bye. And he hangs up. He answers her call 5:02 p.m. while he's standing there with the investigators.
Because she already called at 5:01 and he didn't answer or whatever.
Correct.
Because it says voicemail deposit, so that means she left a voicemail.
Correct. And you see, if you watch that video, you guys, go to the video that I have that says Chris Watts answers NK's call, and you will see before he answers and says, hey, I'll have to call you back. Right before that, his phone rings, and he silences it and lets it go to voicemail, and you hear his phone go doo-doo, like he has a voicemail. Then a minute later, the motherfucker rings again, and he looks at it, and he's probably like, oh my God, this is Nicole again. So that's when he answers.
She's probably calling
says,
to see if he pawned the ring yet.
The fuck was she calling incensed or like that? Like, it's being so, in a rush to get a hold of him. So then let's keep looking, okay? So if you look at 9:40, I can't read that if it's 9:40 or 9:48.
It says on Sunday night, August 12th at 21:28, Kessinger received an incoming call from Chris Watts.
No, I'm talking about the 13th. This is after.
I know, I'm reading what this article says. I was just reading that part.
We'll go back up because I want to look at these calls that night. So 9:48 or whatever, you see. Is it incoming or outgoing?
Incoming.
Okay, so he called her.
Back, yeah.
And they talked for 50 minutes. Okay. Then, okay, so 50 minutes from 9:48 would be what time to what time? So 9:48, that would be approximately 10:40. Yeah. Okay, so they hang up around 10:40. And then at 11:09,
30 minutes later,
he calls him back at 11:09, and they talk for 52 minutes. What the fuck were they talking about?
Well, probably wanted to know how much that ring was probably worth, and where they were going to pawn it at and get the most money for it. I mean,
for real, what were they talking about for 2 hours that night? I just find that to be fucking weird.
Yeah, because, and it's also really weird because she deleted her texts earlier in the day because she said she was done with him because he was acting weird, right?
I guess, but...
Fucking please.
So her billing cycle just happens to end that night. So... ultimatum. But I think the ultimatum was the night before Shanann came home because their little hookup was ending. Their 4 or 5 days a week being together, him sleeping next to her quote unquote warm body, the sex 4 to 5 times a day. That was all coming to an end.
Yeah.
His wife was coming home. She was going to be the side chick. She didn't want to be the freaking side chick.
But yeah, she claims that she knew that he was divorced because when Chris was in North Carolina, he told her that the divorce was final. So that was her belief. So if that was her belief, then what is she scared about? What is she paranoid about? He's divorced.
She never talked or texted him again after. Bullshit. She did too talk to him again after the 11/9 call. Her billing cycle ended. So they had to wait for her next bill to come out to get the 14th on.
Yeah. And that's where...
Of course, she didn't talk to him once he got arrested. It didn't take them long to arrest him.
Right, because he got arrested on, the 15th?
He was arrested... well, let's see. They went missing the 13th, 14th. Yeah, the 15th at night.
You know what they say, an elephant never forgets. Okay, so let's see.
11:09, August 13th. Call was their last. And how do you know that? Have you seen her second billing cycle? Yeah, I have the second discovery as well. And that's where her
dates on this.
You want me to send you the text?
Yeah, because I can't see the fucking dates.
Yeah, I've got them. And that way, we know too that they're not fucked with.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say to you is, here we go on to talk about Sandra Loepp, and what do we always end up with?
Back to this dickwad and his fucking whore.
Yep. I don't know. I'm fixing to tell you though, kid. I mean, you doubted me about the call that lasted 111 minutes. Now you're doubting me about this. I have the second billing cycle.
She had a Moto Z3. Ew.
So you're telling me that she didn't talk to him after the 13th? She most certainly did. Yeah, there really isn't a link to the second discovery. You had to request.
I think they emailed it to you, right?
Yeah. And then we had to log in, but I had to save all the files. Okay. I'm going to have to step away from the chat for a second so I can focus and find this stuff. Because I get caught up. I start reading chat and then I want to read what everybody's saying, and then I'm trying to look for this.
Oh, look, on the 14th, text messages between them two.
Yeah, they texted. Of course they did. They weren't done talking. They weren't done talking until his ass got arrested. Come on.
At 3:28
Yeah, kid needs to
PM.
file a Coro request and get his second discovery. I mean, don't sit here and tell me what's not in the second discovery if you don't have it. I mean, come the hell on. It's a lot, Jay. Step away if you need to. I have to take a break too. It's a lot. All right. Do you want me to send you these texts or what?
Yeah.
Between her and Chris? Or
Yeah,
between,
show the ones for the 14th and then...
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a bitch or anything, but come in here and, like, he came in here the other day and he's like, they didn't talk that night for 111 minutes. I'm like, yeah, they did. No, she wasn't in the courtroom.
Should have been.
We know someone who was in the courtroom, and Kate was not there.
Why not? You want to see your
Are you kidding
future
me?
lover go to prison?
Prison?
They should have.
He wasn't in the chat log. What?
Not a very supportive lover, is it?
What do you mean he wasn't in the chat log? What does that mean?
Just find what you're looking for and then...
I know. I'm getting irritated.
You know, grab me some mashed taters, a little bit of gravy on them. Thank you.
You're more patient and nicer than I'd be like, what are you going to slap a bitch? Well, it's just like...
Yeah, we already covered all this.
I have so many text messages. Shanann and her friends. Freaking... Insane. Oh, here we go. These are the ones we read, correct?
Yeah.
Promise, I'm about loyalty, truthfulness, and being dedicated. I don't like playing games. Unless it's role-playing, winky face. I found
What'd she do?
him.
She had a free night at the Holiday Inn. She had a free night at the Holiday Inn. Won't cost a dime.
Kid Canuck, the 111-minute call wasn't in the first chat log that starts at page 1886. What? I don't even know what you're talking about. It's not a chat log. It's a phone call. They were on the phone. Like,
God. Well, I think you're dealing with a kid, so this is why.
Kid Canuck. Okay, hold on. I'm going to send you these right now. You hear me? Right now.
Right now.
Right now, right now. NIC discusses Chris and Nicole 9 to 11 phone call. What the fuck is he talking about? I know we're doing what page was it on? Sorry, it's funny. All right, Onada.
Hey.
Here's they come.
I'm waiting.
Remember, they were all in fucked up order. I apologize in advance.
I'm getting my mashed taters. I'm getting my...
You got to get your carb on
up
for this one. Yeah, there's 7 things I'm sending. Hopefully they go fucking through. There you go. Things not happening for 500, Alex. Thank you.
All right, here they are.
Oh, I know they're role playing. Blech. I mean, ew. Thank you, Red Lotus. Disgusting. Are we going to read these aloud?
Yeah, I think we should. We should role play it. Can I be Nicole?
You were Nicole last time.
Okay, I'll be Dick Fuck.
You have to be Dick. You have to be Dickwad. Yeah, I'm showing a bill from the second round of discovery. For fuck's sake. You know what, Lotus? Just go ahead and hide Jonathan Thomas. I don't think he's ever going to have anything good to contribute. I mean, for real, if he's going to come in here talking like the shit he's saying.
Oh, I can't even see what he's saying. These people that are in love with Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger.
Yeah, there you go.
Amuse me.
Amuse me, amuse me. Okay, so it's 627. Is that the first one? What's going on?
Probably not.
here?
I think it's fucking all jacked up, so hold on.
Of course it is. Well, I have number 1 and number 2. Those look like they're in order.
Okay.
Number 3. See, but the thing is, it's the cutoff, so you only want to read the top part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey boner, we're gonna reenact, so you're gonna get the nails on the chalkboard.
You're gonna get nails on the chalkboard, yes.
7-4. Okay, so that's text number 4. Number 5. Oh, so okay, so the number 5 goes to 726. 811, 812. Oh, what is this? They're texting on Sunday night. See, these don't have text past the 13th because
Her fucking billing cycle.
but you can still see she deleted
Yeah, the one she deleted. Which were
she
really
deleted
odd.
responses and the text don't make sense because of it.
But the call log shows the 14th calls.
So really, I mean, most of these texts, remember, were him talking because she deleted her replies.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start with number 1, and that's Chris. And just read the very top part. Don't go down to the bottom.
I found anything only about loyalty. To that being dedicated.
Okay, that's a bit much. Can't even understand your retarded ass.
Here, hold on. Let me finish my taters. Here for my bowl here.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I got to get some Chex Mix. Because I'm going to be able to mute while your ass is reading all of Chris's text because she deleted all hers. And I can crunch away.
Yeah, I got stuck reading all of everything because that fucking two-time and tour home wrecking bitch didn't leave anything to be read.
Promise I'm about loyalty, truthfulness, and being dedicated. I don't like playing games unless it's role-playing, winky face. If you want me there, I will be there. Ice cream, cookies, and lollipops. Sounds like a cheap meal night. Laugh out loud. I'm still going to see you. It won't be as often as we like, but I will make it happen. You think you're the only one addicted right now? I'm so hooked on you and your big old tuna empanada. Sleeping without your warm body next to me isn't going to be fun tonight.
Why? Because you're strangling your wife and you're laying next to her cold body? Your turn.
Okay, so number 2. See, we're only reading the ones that are full. You have to look at the date. Okay, here's her.
Hold on, because I'm trying to... 8/12.
So I'm on number 2. I'm on June the 30th.
Number 2, June 30th.
Yep. Image 2 is now her.
Oh, okay.
I have an idea, by the way. I have a free hotel at the Holiday Inn. Not sure if you can swing it this month, but we can road trip to the mountains or southern Colorado for a day or 2 if you want. Won't cost a dime, LOL. She supports me, but her parents were in a situation like that when she was a kid and it came up. It won't bother me. I'm not going to stop seeing you. I made up my mind. Are we bad people?
Okay, now where do I pick up?
So now number 3 at the top. You're number 3 at the top. He's the red. She's the blue.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, John Crimes is here.
Hi, John.
What's up, John? Why? Why have you been gone for 2 days? I haven't seen you. Okay, go ahead.
I'd love to be a part of it. Being in your life is something I crave,
like a tuna empanada.
Conserve it while you can. I enjoyed our conversation tonight. I hope you have a great night. Sweet dreams, Nikki.
Kissy winky face. I'm getting drenched right now. Laugh out loud. Like to see you all wet in the rain. My signal sucks so bad here. It might take a while to download your pictures. Crushed tacos and something.
Empanadas.
And empanadas. If you want, we can have fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
All you
Okay,
gotta
so
do is
number-
spread your legs. Fish tacos for
Okay, hang
everybody.
on. Here's number 4. Okay, so it's you. So you're gonna do the
8/12?
bottom part.
8/12?
Nope, 7/4. You're still on the 4th of July.
Oh, fuck. Okay. 4th of July. I had... Oh, wait, hold on. Nice, that sounds like a good time. See, so this stupid bitch, she fucking deletes her replies. So he's talking to himself. Nice, that sounds like a good time. I haven't seen an IMAX in a while.
No, dude, you got to go down to the 4th of July. You're in August.
Oh, God. I had a protein shake before I left. I thought there would be more here. I'm resisting the funnel cakes and tater twists. I'm stopped traffic too. 112th, lots of people here. Just pulled up to your place.
Okay.
That's you.
So that's July 4th. Now we were on to July 9th. So where did the 5 days go?
Yeah, where the fuck are those 5 days?
Delete it.
All the naked pictures?
Delete it. You're so considerate. Now we're bouncing to 7/17. There's a lot of text missing.
I would say a few. I hope it's 2:30. You need some rest, boo. How the fuck would he know that she needs rest if they haven't been texting? And why I hope it's 2:30. These two are fucking... They were made for each other.
Okay, so that's number 4. Now let's open up number 5. So that was like the 17th.
She would have been his next victim.
So there you are at the top. The top part.
Okay.
It's correct.
726.
Yep.
There is, yes, you deserve a pay increase for everything you're doing. Your plate is only getting fuller because people know what you can do. They need to compensate you now rather than later. Rocky's...
Okay, now we go from July 26th. Now we're at August 10th.
So we're missing
2
10.
weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks worth of texts.
There it is. Yes, you deserve a pay increase. Oh.
You already read that one.
Rocky's games didn't end until 10:20. Good thing you left early. You would have been here. You would have been there a while. Hope you had a great night, beautiful. Miss you. Get home safe, sweet dreams, my sexy empanada.
Okay, now mind you, that's one text on the 11th.
Right.
One text on the 10th. Okay.
Now, look at the one. So he says something to her between this 11th and 12th. Look at this, because hope you had a great night, beautiful. Miss you. Get home safe, sweet dreams, my sexy empanada. And her reply to that is, no, you can't buy the scrolls.
Yeah, no, she deleted shit. Okay, yeah, so here we are on the 12th, right? On the 12th.
Yep.
No, you can't buy the scrolls. LOLZ. I can't. LOLs. Dude, the Dead Scrolls are some of the oldest, most important writing in the world.
Nice.
This is his response. Makes no sense.
That sounds like a good time. I haven't seen an IMAX in a while.
Okay. That was 12:45, but then at 3:14 he replies back at,
nice. That sounds like a good time. I haven't seen an IMAX in a while. Sounds like you're having a fun day with the folks. I'm still at the birthday party. Kids are soaked from water balloons. Winky tongue out, eyeball bulge face. Been pounding fruit and a whole jar of asparagus. He didn't smoke any barbecue this time. He did hot dogs, so I did the fruit and veggies.
Okay, now go to oh my god, you're killing me right now. Now go to the next one. Is it 6 or 7?
8:12 at 3:14 p.m.
Oh, that's where he pounded. Okay.
So she didn't reply anything back, apparently, according to her. But he says, nice. That sounds like a good time.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. He says pounding fruit. Look at the very last one. You missed the muscle emoji.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
okay.
And then look at the 13th at 2:44 p.m.
He did hot dogs, so I did the fruit and veggies muscle emoji. Oh my god, that is absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out.
What the fuck's ridiculous, bitch? You shouldn't have deleted your text so we know what she's talking about.
Okay. But mind you, the 12th, he's at that birthday party. The 13th, he's already killed his family.
He killed his kids that night.
Her at 8:13 on Monday at 2:44 p.m. OMG, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. What's ridiculous and who would freak out? Oh, always, John. Always.
God, it's just nauseating.
Kid Canuck. Listen, I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to speak nice and slow.
Yeah, I think there might be some brain damage or something there.
These texts we're reading are from Nicole's phone. These have nothing to do with Shanann. This is Chris texting her phone, her being Nicole Kessinger. He texted her on August 13th at 2:44 p.m. and said, OMG, that is absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out.
Right. As the police are standing at his house, okay, looking at the door fucking bell coverage from the neighbors, questioning him. They're having a little lovey-dovey conversation. He says, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. What is that about? What did she delete on the 13th, on the date, the day of, or the night after the murders?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they were murdered on the 13th because it was after 12 o'clock midnight that they were murdered. So they were murdered at 12 o'clock midnight, and by 2:44 p.m., 12, 13, 14 hours and 44 minutes later from the time that the clock struck fucking midnight.
Well, yeah. Let's put all this in perspective right now. Okay. He texted her that at 2:44 p.m. That's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. Then we have what I just pointed out prior in the video where he answers the phone and says, oh, I'll have to call you back. Bye. That was at 5 o'clock. And if you notice, the whole time when they're in Nick Trinistich's house, what's he on? He's on his phone. When they're upstairs with the detectives and Nicole Atkinson, he's texting the entire
always on his phone texting and talking to somebody.
Constant.
It's this fucking two-timing twat. Home wrecking whore.
Mm-hmm. Alyssa, if you can tell me which video that is, I will gladly play it. But right now, I can't.
Oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out.
What is he talking about? What would she have said?
Right, that's what I just said, John. He said, if you want nothing to do with the guy, you delete the whole chat.
And his number and block him.
Yeah, you don't just delete certain replies. That's
and then
fucking
have a
stupid.
2-hour conversation later on in the evening again. Until they get in cuffs and she can't.
Oh my God, Kid Canuck, you're seriously, you
just
are
block it. Fucking stupid. I mean,
like you're stressing me the fuck right out because I'm telling you right now, these texts I'm reading are from Nicole Kessinger's phone. They're not from Shanann's. They're not from Chris's. Shanann has nothing to do with these texts right here. These are between Chris and fucking. He was timed out. Okay.
Can't anymore with that. It's like talking to somebody that's like half of a brain.
Right.
You're just never gonna
I think he's a little challenged.
Has to be. All right. So yeah. I mean, what was said?
Well, I don't think we have to block him. Let's not block him. Let's unhide him. Let's give him a timeout. Let's give him a chance to come back and not be Mr. Know-It-All. If he's know-it-all when he comes back, then we'll hide him. Okay, so go ahead, Oni.
Okay. So what could she have said? Oh my God, that is it. Out. What would be absolutely? They would freak out. I found an apartment with, it has water slides and a huge jungle gym. Oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out talking about the kids. Because he's still fucking psychopathic, psychotic, sociopath, believing that he didn't do it when he really did. That's the thing with some of these weirdos. They actually believe their own lies.
I'm sorry, I'm crunching Chex Mix. What'd you say? Just kidding.
Listen, Kid Canuck. I'm
a little slow.
I said, what could she have possibly said to him that would have warranted him to reply that? I found you an apartment and it's got a water slide and a pool and a huge like fucking jungle gym outside. And he would have replied, oh, they would freak. Oh, that's
but what would be ridiculous about that?
Yeah.
Like, what does he mean by that? Like, I mean, it's a text, so OMG, that is absolutely ridiculous! Exclamation, exclamation.
What did she say to warrant that reply?
Right.
Let's think.
Oh, I know, Raul. Pound fruit. I was pounding fruit.
Yeah, well, now he's getting his fucking fruit pounded.
And dude, like, what? Who eats jarred asparagus? Fucking
right?
gross.
Asparagus out of the fucking jar is disgusting. Or a can.
Jay, can you say there's so little in North Korea voice?
Oh my God. There's so little.
Oh my God, you sound like a fucking sheep.
What did she?
Oh my God, there's so little. Why? Why? There's so little.
Because he wanted your sexy empanada.
Why? Okay, what did John say? Let's see.
What time did why did he get his ass in here?
Get your ass in here,
Get
boy.
your ass in the Zoom, John Crimes.
John. What did he say though? What time did she tell the cops she was suspecting Chris had something to do with the murders? Dude, we would have to go back and like play her fucking interview again. I mean, I'm down if you.
Should we stop and restart and retitle it because we really don't want to take away from this?
Yeah, we kind of don't. Okay, so let's stop, and then I will create. We're gonna stop, you guys, but you guys can stay put. Oh my God, stop it! That's close to MK. LOL. Okay, so you guys stay put. We're gonna start a new stream just so we can end this video and keep it to Sandra.
And you could actually probably delete this shit off of it for just Sandra's purposes, right? Because I mean, we don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want it to all melt into each other. That's.
Yeah. It's kind of generic then.
Stop them. Text me the Zoom code. Okay, you're gonna text him the Zoom code. I will stop the stream, and then we're gonna start up the stream, and you guys should be able to stay put.
Yeah, just stay put. It'll be the same stream key, right?
No, it will not. I will have to text you a new one.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, because I use a single use for whatever reason. And
oh God, the green text.
I'm just gonna let's just kind of close it out. So
I can't with John and his green text.
Oh Jesus Christ, I know. All right, so thank you for being with us and join. I gotta close it out, okay? So thanks for tuning in, and make sure you like the Justice for Sandra Loepp Facebook page. Have a great night. Say goodbye, Oni.
Bye, Oni. Love you guys. Thank you for all the contributions tonight. They were beautiful. Come back. Don't miss the talk with NJ and Chris Twats.